Yesa. Uraboe, orere Yesa. Oboru rabo jevena, asofa jewote. Ejefa mere akpo, uropo meware. Uraboe, orere Yesa. I know my how. Hey. Ikworu robo kera abari nyama. 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 Oboru robo jevena asafa jewata ejefa mere akpo uropo meware. Orere Yesa, I know my how. Hey.
And they tried to get me in the night again. And they tried to take away my soul again. And my neck was bent beneath the strain. But I love you more than you ever know. Yes, I love you more than life itself. And they tried to take away my daily bread. But I knew they was messing with my head. And they tried to put me with the daily dead. And a crown of thorns was on my head. But I love you more than you ever know. Yes, I love you more than life itself. I've got a joy deep in my heart. I got a joy deep in my heart. I got a joy deep in my heart. What you gonna do about my joy? Tell me. What you gonna do about my joy? and they tried to get me in the night again.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are, on the surface of this very planet with the time now standing at precisely 5 minutes past 7 p.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. I welcome each and every one of you, regardless of where you are listening to us from, because we cover the entire surface of this very planet with this very gospel of redemption, this gospel of hope, this gospel of renewal, this gospel of the unification of all the children of light in the blessed land of Biafra, not minding where they have been gerrymandered into. We are live and direct on my Facebook page at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There are many fake ones, so you need to be very careful. We are also simulcasting on Radio Biafra app. We are live and direct on satellite. We are on FM. We are on Tuning. We are on Garden Radio. We are on Simple Radio. If you are determined to listen to this very gospel, if you want to transform yourself from a used tissue paper to an animal and then to a human being, this is the place to belong. This is where to be at this precise moment, because we are going to ceaselessly propagate this very gospel that will lead you from bondage into freedom. Without fear nor favor, we are here to preach the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Therefore, when I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you, I am acknowledging the universality of Radio Biafra transmission all over the world, where there are civilized men and women. They are listening to Radio Biafra. This is the only reliable platform for meaningful dissemination of uncompromisable communication to those that wish to reason, to those that wish to understand. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the largest mass movement on the face of this very earth. We have no arms, we have no ammunition, we have no guns, we have no bullets, we have no sword, we don't even have a catapult. But Elohim has dragged the zoo down. Our rock has been emptied. There is nothing in it. And Shabuhari is prostituting herself from one man to the other, trying to hold on to what has crumbled. The zoo is no more, it doesn't exist. That is why we speak with every authority. That is why we are saying to all those neo-colonialists who are desperately clinging on to power in the hope of swindling, in the hope of looting, in the hope of emptying the treasury, prior to the official announcement of the end of the zoo, that they are wasting their time, because nothing, I repeat, nothing will stop the zoo from imminent collapse. It is gone and gone completely. There is no president, there is no vice, there is absolutely nobody elected to pilot the affairs of the damnable animals in the zoological republic. That is why we speak with every authority, that though they may be trying the best they can, that Elohim has destroyed the zoo, and from where it will never recover. They should pray COVID-19 never ends, because they will see a drama the likes of which they have never seen before in their lives. The whole world will know about this very fraud. Humanity will judge them and punish them accordingly. We are going to pray as it is usual and customary for us to do. We must pray. We must acknowledge the presence of Elohim in heaven. I must ask those who are admins to make sure that this very link from my page, for those who wish to listen via social media, that this same link is also shared on Radio Biafra page. Very, very important that they do so. If people are struggling or wondering how they can listen, the best thing for you to do is to guide them. This evening we are going to pray. It doesn't matter what our enemies do. It doesn't matter what they are trying to do. It doesn't matter what their motives are. It doesn't matter what they intend to accomplish. One thing is inescapable. This very gospel must be preached uncompromisingly. Uncompromisingly. I will preach the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You may not like it, you may not be comfortable with it, but Elohim has given me a message. And that very gospel I must pray. We must pray. We need to pray. On this very evening, the commencement of our fasting and our prayers all over the world, in remembrance of those that died, that we may live, we ask for your everlasting mercy and abiding love on we who are the living. We ask Elohim for the safe repose of the souls of those that have departed in the cause of restoring Biafra, that very gallant class of 67 to 1970, very brave men, fearless, who for their sake, who for their gallantry, who for their bravery, we are still able to call upon your name today in truth and every honesty. For without those men and women and their sacrifices, the Janjaweed would have overrun your nation. Today we would have been speaking another language, another tongue. Today we would have been worshipping an idol from where we do not know. But out of the abundance of your kindness and your mercy, you remembered your promise to your children. You made us safe. Though we lost over 5 million, you preserve those who today all over the world is a shining beacon of excellence. Those who epitomize the very finest tradition of ingenuity in a black man. They are Biafrans all over the world, and we are grateful for your mercy upon our lives. That is why when we say we love thee with all our heart and all our might, that we submit to your glory, that we bow before your throne of grace in heaven, when we say there is no other apart from thee, When we say that you are the creator of all that is made, but nothing made you. When we say you are the beginning and the end. When we say you are the Alpha and the Omega. When we say you are the only entity that gives life and gives grace in the lives of those that believe in thee. When we proclaim the coming of Biafra, predicated upon your promise to restore light upon the lives of those who has been darkened out of their own iniquity and foolishness, we have returned to thee because you are Elohim. Adonai, El Shaddai, you are our rock and our fortress. You are our deliverer. We give over the land of Biafra into your care because Biafra is being restored, that your name may be worshipped in truth and in every honesty. There will be no idolatry in Biafra. I promise you this when I was in detention, that Biafra will come out of your mercy. We will not bow before any graven image. We will recognize your entity as the Father, as the bringer of life and of hope in the darkened continent of Africa. That Biafra may come and your light will shine all over Africa. We call upon thee, because only you, Elohim, is worthy of praise. You have delivered us from the hands of our enemies. You have rendered asunder all those that came to bring discord in the land of Biafra. You have exposed the enemies within. You have rendered useless all those that sought to divide your land, the land of Biafra. Though they come with death, though we are being perennially slaughtered, though the torrents of destruction threaten to overwhelm us, we remain glued to your promise that you change it not, you do not fail. You are the God that answereth prayers. Our prayer is very simple. We have not come to levy war on anyone. We have not come that destruction may thrill every step that we make. We have come to fulfill your promise that life will come into the land of Biafra, that your light will shine once again, that anytime we cry unto thee, you will listen to our prayers, you will deliver your children, because your words are yea and amen. You said that Biafra will come, and tenaciously do we cling on to that very promise. Do we cling on to that very hope that your will be done in the lives of your sons and your daughters in the land of Biafra and all over the world, that your mercy may endure in our lives, that the truth that you have mandated us to preach may permeate the subconscious of every living being, that ultimately your will be done. Biafra will be restored. We will build your temple in Arochukwu. We will bow before thee and no other God. We will exalt your holy name. We will glorify you from the end of the earth unto the end of the earth. And every generation that will come after this, they will say that very generation of IPOB, they clung unto the promise of Elohim, and Biafra came in their time, that your name may be exalted, that your name may be glorified, adored, and worshipped forever and ever, we pray. He said, for a few minutes I was in the spirit. I didn't want to come out, but I have to preach this gospel this evening as mandated by heaven. Go and get your pen and paper. And the Mazi and the Janjaweed, as I told you earlier on in my last post on my page, or should I say penultimate, given that we are listening to this very broadcast live, I asked you to bring your slate and your chalk. So as we are dissecting and digesting very complex issues of governance, of politics, of religion, of civic responsibility, of what it means to fight for your freedom, Alamajiri and Aboki, You can practice how to spell. Last, I think it was on Sunday, that you learned how to read from A to Z alphabet. Today, as we are deeply immersed in the knowledge of life, I will expect some of you at least to begin to learn how to spell simple things like cat and dog and cow. Because here, if you are afraid of the truth, believe you me, you cannot survive it. If you are afraid of the truth, this is not the platform for you. If you are afraid of the truth, then you are in one almighty trouble, because some people say that our language is sometimes unbecoming. Those who are afraid of the truth, they say that we insult them, but we don't insult anybody. I tell you the truth. If you do what is right, we will praise you. If you misbehave, we will shred you. It's as simple as that. This evening we must proceed very hastily, because I intend to take some calls this evening. A departure from the norm, a step away from our protocol, and will endeavor, given, should I say, the auspicious nature of the time that we are in, considering that 30th of May is upon us, when we remember those that died that we may live, this very evening, I will do all that I can to make sure that we take your calls. But first of all, we must preach. And this evening, you will be shocked at the revelation we're about to make. You will marvel at the ignorance and stupidity of some people. You will become distressed as to the hopelessness of those who have allowed themselves to be called Nigerians. Because if you're a Nigerian, it means you are lower than an animal. If you call yourself a Nigerian, it means you are in a zoo. If you call yourself a Nigerian, it means you have no redemption. If you call yourself a Nigerian, it means that the rampaging Janjaweedism is your portion in life. Let us preach the gospel of heaven. If you see yourself as a zoo animal, here we can make you become human once again through education. But if you are a used tissue paper, as some of you fondly refer to yourselves, then we cannot help you. This is the situation right now in Biafra land. As I told you, we intend to spread this very gospel this evening. I want the whole world to understand what we are going through. I want humanity to comprehend the scale of suffering. I want everybody who is capable of discernment to feel sorry for what we are passing through in the land of Biafra. Because what is happening to us is unfathomable. What is happening to us defies logic. What is happening to us should not be allowed to continue. What is happening to us requires a very urgent, coordinated reaction that this very generation of ours will see the last of it. The wickedness being perpetrated in the land of Biafra is beyond abomination. Beyond abomination. And it is our responsibility this very day to bring that to the attention of the global community. Listen.
Hello. Good evening, all. It's to inform and to alert everyone that the Fulani herdsmen, they are right now in Bende.
In Bende?
We are in Ozuakole, where they call colony. Right now, they have many of them have been found there today with AK-47. About 300 of them there with guns. So please, we are calling for help. And the community have been alerted already, and they are all working to do something. But we still need help because we don't know whether they will attack this night or tomorrow. I'm just doing this to inform all our principal officers That's a challenge in the Bende, precisely Osakoli, a colony, what we call colonies through colony by colony in that bush, colony and Lohum. There's a forest there. They're in that forest. Please, if anyone get this information, please immediately inform all our principal officers for what is happening in Bende, precisely in Noswakoli colony. Thank you. God bless you all.
I hope you have heard it. For those of you who are living in America, for those of you who think that you're sensible and reasonable, 300 armed fighters have now come into Zwakoli. If you come from Bende, and perhaps you are as old as I am, or you went to Methodist College in Zwakoli, one of the, I will call it an Ivy League school. If you are acquainted with that part of the world, Dogum and Uzakoli, you will know where the colony is. This very evening, right now, this very second, there are 300 armed Fulani terrorists who have camped there with the help of the Nigerian army, with the help of the Nigerian police, which of course is being, should I say, controlled by the Fulani. It took them many years to plan this. They didn't just wake up one night and decide to flood down to the south. No. As we are busy trying to be politically correct, as we are busy talking rubbish on video, backstabbing as usual, mouthing our rubbish, working for a new Nigeria, working to divide Biafra land, working to sabotage any coordinated effort to confront our enemies from the Sahel. This is the gift you have given to us. Your complacency, your sabotage, and your treachery. Some of you never knew that it would affect you. But this very evening, if you have ever sabotaged IPOB, if you have ever sabotaged Biafra, if you have ever supported the zoo called Nigeria, right now in Ozakole is the result of your labor. All those years you spent working for the enemy without knowing it. All those years you've spent eating your own flesh out of envy and jealousy because IPOB is blessed. All those years you've spent writing and mouthing rubbish. All those you've spent wallowing in your stupidity. All those years you have spent serving the zoo. The result is now in leper colony in Ozakole. That is what you have given to us. All of you telling us, oh, I have a property in Kanu, I have a property in Abuja, I live in Lagos. Do you see what you have done? Because of you now, leper colony in Ozakole has been overrun. Because of you, the colony has been taken over. A portion of Ozakole is under Fulani occupation. All of you, we've been asking for very many years that we need help and assistance to compel these people to leave our land. And you have been prevaricating, you've been delaying, you've been talking rubbish after rubbish. You've been gossiping, grown-up men in the US, gossiping from one useless meeting to another, from one hopeless meeting to another. All your years of gossiping, all your years of stupidity, all your years of backbiting, can you see the resultant effect in Ozakole? This is just the tip of the iceberg. There is another video from Ebonyi, and I hope that Amaka will lay her hands on it and be able to publish it. What they are doing, houses being burnt and destroyed, before your very eyes you see these things happening. It's only IPOB who has been fighting. For nearly 10 months now, we have been fighting consistently. And I will come on air and I will tell you that the Fulani army and police that Ohaneze Ndioshi and the so-called politicians, they are in concert with these people to overrun and take over our land. Some of you wouldn't listen, but now it's happening. They are now in Osakoli. They are destroying houses in Ebonyi. The very limited resistance we are putting up in Ebonyi is what our budget can carry. I have seen some idiots, they come, some people say, oh, you should stop, you should reduce calling people idiots that our kids are listening. Tell your children that I am referring to those that have betrayed us and who, because of what they have done, both individually and collectively, have put us in a very perilous situation. Our people are dying, our land is being overtaken, and we are being overrun. Everywhere they are coming with arms. There is no way I can decorate my words. I'm a very angry person. Very, very bitter at our complacency and stupidity, and you want me to sugarcoat how I say things. I won't do it. If your children ask you, mommy or daddy, why is the uncle talking on radio? Why is he using those words? Look at your child and say, my dear child, I am sorry. I have been very stupid. I contributed to the mess happening in Biafra land. Be honest with your children and tell them the truth. All your years of gossiping, have you seen it? Grown-up men that listen to gossip, have you seen the result? When we are in Ebonyi fighting, you are not there. When we are in Delta fighting them, none of you knew. Until they started rounding up and arresting IPOB inside Delta. I came on air and I said it. If they finish arresting IPOB, you will not have people to defend Delta. They thought I was joking. They succeeded in what they were planning with the fire cover. Now the result is there. They have now taken over Delta State. Have you not seen it? Are all of you blind? You cannot see? I will play it later. Very shortly I will play it for all of you, that you may understand. So when your children say to you that uncle talking is very upset, he says things, he's cursing people, tell your children that you are the reason why that uncle is talking the way he's talking. Because all of you put our land in jeopardy. And you think we are going to forgive you? Even if you like, you come bring us the sun and the moon. We'll never forgive you. All this nonsense going on now should have been stopped from the beginning. I warned you in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. Until I was arrested, I came out, I kept warning you, let us prepare, let us prepare, let us get ready. You said no. What some idiots did, as I was, they said, oh, you don't talk to politicians, you don't cooperate with them. As I came out, I spoke to a few of them, and I said, can you see our condition? Are you going to do something about it? Not one single soul. I'm saying it live to the hearing of the whole world. Not one single politician from Igbo land, from Efik, from Ibibio. I spoke to all of them. I sent emissaries to them. I said to them, this is what is coming. There is no governor in Biafra land. There is none in the so-called Southeast or South or Niger Delta and all the useless democracy that goes with it. I spoke to all of them. I sent people to them. Let us prepare. I'm telling you now. And all of them said no. That they are planning. They promised all of them vice president. All of them. Everybody was promised VP. They promised Wike VP. They promised Omahe vice president. They promised Ugwani vice president. They promised Obiano vice president. They promised, I don't know what they promised to Keziba, I'm not too sure. They promised the Supreme Court governor. They promised him that he will now be the new Alakali of the whole of Igbo land. These are the people you have as your politicians. They have no foresight, they have no vision. With the exception of Albaribe and a few others who don't want to be mentioned. I pleaded with them. Do you know what happened? The same politicians, some of them, working for the zoo, went behind my back and started telling them, make sure you don't give any arms to Nnamdi Kanu. If you do, he will defeat the zoo, Nigeria, and he will come and kill all of us. I said it before live on air. I have said it many times. Instead of them to see what I have seen, they went about gossiping. It was that gossip that led to Operation Python Dance. That same gossip. What Igbo men are doing with gossip, I have no idea. Why a grown-up man that claims, or woman who claims they're educated, somebody can come to you in the middle of the night and be whispering rubbish to you, inboxing you nonsense. You don't have the presence of mind to ask the person, please, why don't you bring me the evidence you have? Simple evidence. Because there's a saying where we come from. You don't judge by only listening to one side of the story. Listen to everybody involved. You listen to gossip. Oh, let's not support hiding your prejudice and your little jealousy. All of that nonsense is the reason why right now, Zakol is occupied. That is why in Ebonyi State, as I'm going to play for you, that is why. Listen, Ebonyi. In Ebonyi.
No government.
There is no government in Ebonyi. They are complaining in Igbo language. A house destroyed and burned. No arrest. You won't hear the police. There is no Yoruba media reporting it. There is no BBC. All of them, they are all silent because they are in on it. They want our land to be taken over. They want us to be a conquered people. When we tell you something you don't want to hear. Have you seen the destruction?
3 villages have been vandalized.
3 villages destroyed. This is the video. Destroyed and vandalized in Ebonyi.
No actual people.
Only IPOB everywhere fighting. With nothing, less to nothing.
No.
With bare hands we are fighting.
This is in the glory.
Have you seen it?
Our government. The state government is aware of this.
State government is aware.
The state government is aware of this.
In Ebonyi.
Because I have reported this in, said they should urgently come.
Are you listening? You're from Ebonyi, you're in Lagos, you're in Abuja, thinking you're having fun. Our land is gone. They went to the well that we dug.
But
and they poisoned it.
Goats, fowl.
What everybody is being killed. Human beings, goat, fowl, every animal is being destroyed by the Janjaweed in Ebonyi. Who is there fighting them? Only IPOB. Any help or support from anywhere? The answer is no. There is no support. Some idiots are talking rubbish. Oh, they gave you money. You have money. They gave you money to go and buy web. And I'm looking at the idiots. The fools. Fools. That is why I said to them, I will not accept anything from anybody. If you have any contribution to make in America, go to World Igbo Congress. You people are horrible human beings. But tomorrow now, both those that contributed and those that didn't contribute, they will say they contributed for 4.4 trillion. And they gave to Nnamdi Kanu, which is a lie. An Igbo man doesn't give you money. That is how life is, unless he or she is benefiting from it. Very rarely, an Igbo man can come out deep hand in his pocket, bring out $1 million or 2 or 3, and say, give you, go and buy weapons to defend our land. They don't do it. That is a fact of life. Or you will see idiots. They are not part of IPOB. They have never contributed one dime in their life. They will take their useless Chinese phone and be doing video, talking rubbish. Talking nonsense. That is who they are. That is how they roll. That is how they operate. That is the nature that they possess within them. What do you want me to show you? Have you seen the beheaded woman in Ebonyi? Our mothers are being raped, being beheaded. Every blessed day, we lament, we complain. Somebody say, oh, let's see what you can do. You say another idiot. Tomorrow they make a video. Oh, how about the money we contributed before? But you didn't contribute anything. There is no money. You that is talking, did you contribute to IPOB? The answer is no. Ask them the evidence of all the money that was contributed to buy arms. They have none. They don't have any. The idiot talking did not contribute not one dime. All they have done is to be working for the Janjaweed. Working for the Janjaweed, the invaders, by dampening your spirit. I know that one day, the politician, before the end of next month, I will mention his name live on air. I will tell the whole world his name. He went about in Abuja telling them, do not support. And I said to him, apart from 5 or 6 people all over the world who can fund this project, who do you think can bring out support for us to move forward? Look at the Yorubas. You can't even learn from them. You can't learn because they come to all of you. They promise you it's your turn now to be vice president. Meanwhile, I'm handing you over to Tambuwal. You work with him. You start to work against the interest of your people. And you claim you're a politician. You claim you're educated. You claim you're learned. You claim you love your people. But in actual fact, you're working for the zoo. You're working for the North to colonize you, to invade you, to take over all your land. That is what is happening, isn't it? Have you now seen it? Look at people. Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are people not ashamed? Nobody here. Do you people have shame at all? Do you have shame at all? There was a young man before I came on air, a viral video of a young black man killed in Minnesota in America. The white policeman knelt on his neck, snapped it, and he died. And I was thinking to myself, if Africa was a viable continent, what would black people be doing in America? They would be in Africa. And if we are civilized, I'm not saying they don't kill us in Africa, but if we are civilized, we can build a nation, build individual countries that are capable of protecting our lives and our dignity as a race. But we're in America. We'll discuss it now for 2 days and that one will disappear. It's gone. Another useless black life lost. The same way they're slaughtering us. We have nowhere to go. Instead of people to come together and say enough is enough. That's all it takes. Enough is enough. How many are the Fulanis? How many are they? They conquered, I was kept quiet like a bunch of idiots. They conquered Nupe the same. They conquered Gwari the same. The same people conquered Yoruba the same thing. Now they're coming to conquer us. And all of them are all quiet. They have swept over the so-called Middle Belt. The TVs they are gone long time ago. They are their vassals long time ago. All that it takes to stop them, the only thing it takes to stop the Janjaweed is simple, tiny cooperation. Very, very small. It doesn't take anything. It won't cost you anything. All the money that you have been giving to Yoruba pastors in the last 3 weeks alone, even in COVID-19, can give us enough arms to defend ourselves forever and ever. But you see how you reason. You see the way you think. You see the way you analyze and you process information. You think somebody shouting the blood of Jesus, collecting your money every Sunday, tithe, sowing of seed, watering of plant, and he's somewhere in Obomosho. He will come to Ebonyi to help you. He will come to Zakuli to help you. Have they come? Have they even condemned what is going on? How many times have they? Is to ask you to pray for one Nigeria. And now you're telling me I don't have the right to say you're a very stupid person. Who told you that? I have every right to say whatever I like to you. Because you're very foolish. If you're not foolish, you wouldn't have fallen for such nonsense. You would not have fallen for it. We have enemies. You don't understand. We have enemies everywhere. If you don't know, let me educate you. Our enemies there are some you can see and others you cannot see. Our enemies are even in the Australian government. The government of Australia, they have bribed some of them. Our enemies are there. If you know what I'm battling with the Australian government, you will not believe it. Some of them are there in Australian government. Do you know the enemies we have? Some of you just pick up your useless rickety phones online talking rubbish because you're foolish, because you have no brain, because you cannot reason, you cannot think. You're a primitive black monkey. You know nothing. Do you know how many enemies we have? Do you know I went to VOA after my interview at VOA and went back to Capitol Hill to go and lobby US senators about the killing of Christians? And the same VOA that invited me, on the morning of the interview, they rang me and said to me, they spoke to my PA. They said to my PA, oh, can your principal speak Hausa? And he said to them, what has Hausa got to do with interview? VOA in Washington. VOA headquarters on Capitol Hill. He said, unless he speaks Hausa, we cannot interview Nnamdi Kanu today. I've not told you this before. Go and ask VOA in America. Because the zoo got to them. All the money they've been borrowing, they're using to bribe. All they do is to bribe. It was only when we started this movement that I knew that white people is as corrupt as black people, if not worse. But they do it very scientifically. Do you know that? Are you aware of that? Do you know that VOA cancelled my interview because you know what they said? That I should go to Nigeria embassy and bring somebody who speaks Hausa to debate with me. I said to them, I don't mind debating with anybody, but you can bring the person. Let me shred them. In America, I will vaporize them before the whole world. They said no. I should go and bring somebody who speaks Hausa so they can interview me in Hausa language. And I said, with all due respect to VOA, you are talking rubbish. That was how the interview was cancelled. Do you know how many enemies you have? All these idiots running all over the place, yapping rubbish. Do you know how many enemies you have? Have you been to the US State Department before? Have you tried to table the issue of Biafra before? Have you received any responses? Do you hear what they are saying? Do you know what they are saying about Biafra? About the zoo? About dividing the zoo? Do you know how many billionaires? Do you know how many billionaires they are making from Nigeria? Do you know? You have any idea? No. If I tell you that they love the corruption in Nigeria, will you believe me? Only a handful of them. Because there's always a handful of white people with conscience. That is one thing about them. No matter how bad they are, there is always a handful of white people with conscience. Do you know how many millionaires they make from Nigeria every month? And you want somebody who is sitting in the United States State Department or UN making money from Nigeria, or an ambassador in Nigeria making millions out of bribery? You want them to now come and say, oh, let's divide Nigeria. Where would they get their money from? The free money they're getting. You still don't reason, you don't think, you don't analyze. All you say, that is the money. Anytime I come on air and I say that we have difficulties, we need money, that is the only thing that you hear. And the idiot talking hasn't contributed one dime. That's the thing about us. It reminds me of the story that my friend told me many years ago. A very close friend of mine there. You know, in the village, every Christmas, every Easter, or New Year festival, we dance as kids. We used to start, we dance Echo in my village, but you start from Echo. That's one called Echo. You dance Echo, then you dance Agaba, then before you now graduate to Udon. That is how we grow. That's how we raise kids where we come from. And as you dance Echo, maybe during Christmas or Easter, you go from house to house dancing as kids. People will be giving you money as children. And after giving you that money, you come back to the house, you give the money to your mom. And then your mother is in trouble. Hey, your mom is in trouble. Do you know what happened? My friend told me that the sister, after dancing, gave the money, maybe equivalent of about 20 kobo in those days when money had value. Gave 20 kobo to her mom, her share of the money she made from dancing. You know, all these little kids dance they do in the village. You know what happened? The next day, they were going to school. My friend's sister, little sister, said to the mom, "Mom, give me money for pencil." The mom went into out of the 20 kobo, gave her 1 kobo. Said, "Go and buy pencil and give me change, I'll keep for you." She did. The next day, mom, there's this dress I saw, Angoreka is wearing, I like it, give me money from that same money. Mom, there is no school fees, give me money. After nearly 1 year, she was still asking for the same money. The mother asked her, "This money you gave me since last Christmas, so does it mean it never finishes? Does it mean it never ever finishes? Every time because you gave me 20 kobo, you have collected more than 1 naira from me, you are still coming. If I ask you, oh, where do I get money from? You ask me to go back to that money you gave me last Christmas, but the money is finished, and you're still asking for it." That is how Igbo people behave. That's their behavior. If you ask them for any help, you're in trouble. Any day you open your mouth to ask Igbo people for help, you're finished. Unless they benefit from it. Because every time you ask, "Oh, why don't you go back to?" Both those that gave and those that didn't give, they don't know they are doing the Janjaweed job for them. You don't know that. Your stupidity, your envy, and your jealousy, all it ever ends up accomplishing is emboldening the enemies to come in. Somebody came to me and begged me to become the governor of the state, and I told him I don't participate in politics. He went back and started telling politicians not to Those who had because as we pray, some of them buy into it. Some are buying into it. They know it's the truth. They know their land will be gone. Are you telling me that Osakole, when people are, they don't have any senator, they don't have any house of rep? Of course they do. They knew it. Somebody, because I said to him, I can't support you. I'm not into politics. As I said, I'll mention his name one day. He went about telling people, oh, do not support. Do not support. And that is why we are where we are today. And now the Janjaweeds have come and it's not even in the zoo. That tells you all you need to know about these people. They have no conscience. They have no conscience. And our people are making matters worse. Worse every blessed day. That's why I said to them, if you have anything to give, go to World Congress in America. Don't give to IPOB, please. I'm begging in the name of Elohim. Don't give. Go to World Congress. I trust Professor Joffo. World Congress, I believe they have all it takes to handle all of this nonsense because you people are impossible. Impossible human beings. What type of God made you people, Seth? You say, Fulani is in your village, and you're doing sex. You are doing little sex. You are doing video, blabbing your mouth like a pig, like a pig. You are doing rubbish like a pig. Until they cut off your useless neck, then your eye will clear. As I was traveling all over the world preaching this gospel, there are people from all these places now under Fulani occupation that will come to my town hall meeting. And we're talking, oh, this thing you're planning, you get us into trouble. But the trouble has come. I told you that the trouble will come. If you like, you accept, or if you like, don't accept, the trouble will come to you. Because that's what I believe in. If you don't look for trouble, trouble will look for you. That is why I believe in looking for trouble. I start trouble myself. Personally, I prefer to start it than trouble coming to me. Now, what is happening to us? I ask you, what is happening to us right now? What is happening to us? We have enemies. Facebook is our enemy. Don't you know that? Tell me, the media house have you ever heard CNN before come down to do a documentary? Has BBC ever come down before to do a documentary? There is BBC, and they see all these things happening, they are aware. Ask yourself, why is it that BBC cannot go to a village, cannot go to Delta, cannot go somewhere and say and ask them, why are these things happening? Who did this to you? Have you ever asked yourself that? It's a simple question. Have you ever actually sat down to ask yourself before, why is it that BBC cannot do a documentary about the invasion of our land? Instead, they went to go and ask Alamajiri, who speaks Igbo very fluently, I must add. BBC. And only IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, is facing all these enemies all over the world. Do you know how strong they are? Only IPOB. Do you know how strong these people are? Yet we are breaking them down. And instead of idiots to sit down and appreciate the very marvelous work IPOB is, you're yapping rubbish. You wake up in the morning and you just talk nonsense. Inboxing people. There are some people that all their job is to be inboxing, sending inbox to, actually gossip, inbox everywhere. Ask them to face me and they run. They can't face me because now I will destroy them with facts and figures. Very neat and very simple. Look at your land is under siege. You're in America. Maybe next week a policeman will sit on your neck or your child's neck and they will break it and they will die. And we'll be looking at videos. Say, hey, this is bad, oh. And after 2 days, it's all over. That is the price of stupidity. The price of idiocy. When your kids ask you why I use the words that I use, tell them that you're stupid. Look at your child and say, dear child, I am a fool. That is why that uncle is speaking the way he's speaking. If you don't know, let me tell you. You think I'm here to massage words? You must be insane. I don't massage words. I don't. Some of you mean well. You do mean well. You do mean well. But your actions do not correspond with what we are seeing on the ground. You must do a little bit more. Is it only Ebonyi State? Is it only Abia State? No. Let us go a bit further. Let us go to the land, Igbo land, in Delta. Some idiot I read was telling me nonsense about they are from Ukwane. They came from Benin. Hey! And I said, what is the name? What is the name of Ukwan in Benin language? They cannot tell me. So they're from Benin, they're speaking Igbo. Are you not stupid? How can somebody come from Benin and be speaking Igbo? Does that make any sense to anybody? Does that make any sense? This is years of mental destitution. I don't want to be speaking too much grammar all the time. Years of mental idiocy. Your name is Ifai Okowa. Somebody answering Ovie Werem or Moyeren or whatever is coming and telling you you are related to him, you are from Benin, and you're jumping up and down like a spring chicken, saying yes, I'm from Benin. Are you not sincere? Is your brain correct? Is your brain okay at all? That is what years of living in a zoo has done to people. We have enemies. Our enemies are not just the Janjaweed, the Fulani you see in the north. Everywhere, because they are afraid. Some corrupt neo-colonialists are afraid of Biafra. They think that Biafra will have the same effect on Africans the same way that Japan did in Southeast Asia. Because, as we say where we come from, if people see that Biafra is successful, Oduduwa will strive to be like Biafra. Even the Janjaweed in the north, Hausa will strive to be like Biafra. People will work harder because people are at their best when there is competition. That's something that people don't know. The reason why IPOB is preeminent is because from day one, we were put under pressure from day one. And that is why I say to people, don't worry when people talk rubbish and it's good for us. It reminds us the price of failure, that you cannot fail. People will copy from us. When Biafra is free, Africa will learn from Biafra. They know it. That is what Fulani is running from. Fulani knows that once Biafra stands and we are doing very well, when they go to beg for money, which is all that they do, which is to go and beg, they want to ask them, but are you not the same people with the Biafrans? Some of you don't know what is happening in Africa. It's a trend that the lives of Rwanda is trying to reverse. This trend of what I call the democratization of idiocy and poverty. Everybody is poor. So when you go to beg for loan, go to ask for grant, as COVID-19 is raging, you're begging for everything from syringe to ordinary water bottle. And then what is begging from Africa, there's no problem. Understand this very clearly. But if other African countries are doing well, then the person you're begging for money will ask you, but I don't have other people who are doing well. They're not begging us for money. Why have you come? That is one thing the Fulani don't want. They know that once Biafra stands, Biafra will be a beacon, and they don't want it. All these, their useless Janjaweed feudal way of existence will disappear. Because Almighty will then ask them, can't you see as they live for Biafra? That's what he will say to them. Why can't you be like Biafra? That is what the Janjaweed are afraid of. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Why can't we have competition? Why can't we say, okay, this is Biafra, okay, take it and go. Let's see what you can do. Because they know that once they do it, I'm telling you, in 6 months only, they'll be begging to come into Biafra land. They know it very well. And that's what they're afraid of. Let me tell you what's happening in Delta. Some of you don't know. I will tell you. You've seen it. You have seen it. But you have not read meaning into it. That's what I'm here to make you do. You have not read meaning into it. You must see it. You must see it.
In the Oshimiri North local government
Listen.
state are protesting an executive order from the local government chairman evicting them. The chairman of the council, Mr. Louis Ndukwe, had issued an order asking those resigning.
His name is Louis Ndukwe. Louis Ndukwe. But he's from Benin. He's not from Benin. His name is Louis Ndukwe. I have never seen such idiots before. What he did is very good. And we are going to get to that in a minute. This is Channels TV covering the plight of Fulani terrorists in Delta State. Now I'm asking you a question. You have seen we have made every effort to contact Dave Umahi about what is happening in Ebonyi State. Have they ever been to Ebonyi State to report before? When they were killing us in the north, did you see Channels TV report about the beheading of Igbo people in the north? Or the killing of Biafrans? Have you ever heard them or seen them report about what is happening, the influx, the invasion? No. But anywhere Fulani is under threat, not under any threat, don't live in the bush. That's all. You see Channels, they will appear immediately. Oh, they're trying to evict Fulani, Fulani. I am telling you that the Janjaweed, they know who to bribe, when to bribe, and how to extract the best. That is how they are holding everybody hostage. All of you are foolish because they are holding you hostage. You have no brain. They go to Channels run by Yoruba. They give them money. Channels will now be covering their issue. Now, when we now go to America or we go to EU and we say, can you see what is happening? They will say, oh, but according to Channels report of the 26th of May 2020, they have said you people are the ones disturbing the peace. You are the ones chasing the Fulanis away. Now you understand it? That is what the diplomat will tell me. Wait until after COVID. Once I see, that's what they're going to tell me. You people are the ones chasing Fulanis away. Are you following? Listen very carefully to understand how they are playing with manipulating your brain so you cannot listen properly. This is any time somebody comes to you and tells you something wrong about IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, or Biafra, or this, you plan to cause war. No, that person is working for the zoo. Is working for Nigeria. They are working to destroy you, to completely annihilate you as a race. I told you what happened. Did I tell you what happened? Very, very sad indeed. That's what they do. They come and they say, oh, he's trying to cause war. Don't support him. But that thing you are avoiding, it has come to you now. Has it not come? Has it not come? Has it not come? Has it not come? I ask you. Unbelievable. I'm going to show you this evening what they're doing with your lives. It's called subtle manipulation. I did mass communication as an elective. Subtle manipulation. You will not know. They got what you did. They say, this is the thing Nnamdi Kanu is doing to bring war. That idiot will be trumpeting it all over the place. And you know, all of us Biafrans, our spirit is very, very easy to dampen. If not for the years of training and tutorship in IPOB on this platform, some of you would have fallen by the wayside by now because you are programmed to receive gossip. That is how your mind functions. That is how your essence flow. You are programmed to receive and gobble up gossip without interrogation. And that's what they're playing on. All the politicians that they met and said don't support IPOB to defend our land, where are they today? Has anyone come to say, oh, we are sorry, we should have listened to you? No. But did I not warn you before? In America, they don't warn you. So I went to America to solicit for funds. They didn't give me anything. No dime was given to me. But you know, some idiots, they have listened to Loretta Onochie, that ex-madam, a harlot trafficker. They will listen and say, oh, but they gave me money in America. I'm asking, who gave me money in America? Where, when, what date? Do you see how they flow? And these are young Biafrans. Talking nonsense, from their mouth comes rubbish. Compromised idiots that have nothing to offer. Absolutely nothing. That will be mouthing and yapping every blessed day. Now they have come. They're also in LLM. They're in oil mill as we speak. Let me tell you what's happening in Delta, because some of you don't know.
Forested area.
Listen.
Vacate that place within 7 days or have their structures demolished. Mr. Ndukwe explains that the order is not targeted at victimizing anyone or tribe or person, but to rid the bushes of criminals who always use the place to perpetrate heinous crimes.
We are Nigerians. They are saying, oh, Igbos are living in Kanu. They are living in Kaduna. Because of that, we are Nigerians. We have the right to live anywhere we find, including our farmland, including our forests, including our bushes. Now, do you understand what is going on? Some of you saw it, you saw this very news. What did you do? What did you do? Let us hear what Mr. Ndukwe has to say. Mr. Ndukwe from Benin. Oh, my goodness.
The government, the federal government, state government should come into our aid and leave us, allow us.
Fulani is saying state government, federal government, come to our aid in Igbo land. in Igbo land, in the bush of Igbo land. Come to our aid, come and help us, which means bring the army, bring the police, come and kill all the villagers, so we can take over. The same thing they did to Awasa, the same thing they did to Nupe, the same thing they did to Gwari, the same thing they did to Yoruba, the same pattern. They never change. They never ever change. They never ever change. When will you people learn? When will you understand that your land is under siege? You are under threat. Your way of life is about to go. It's about to vanish, about to evaporate. When will you know this? When? How else do you want me to put it? I say, how else? Don't call me to ask me. If you're in America, keep shouting at America. Go to World Igbo Congress. Go there and find them. Maybe you can be of use after all. Don't come to IPOB. Don't come to... I told you in 2015 that a time will come, people will come to me to lead this very army, and I will not lead it. Go to that video I made in Los Angeles. It's that. It's a timeless classic. It never... People never get out of watching it. Go and watch it again. In that video, I said, a time will come, you will ask me to lead this army, and will not lead it out of your complacency and your stupidity. It has happened. That is why we need nothing from you. IPOB needs nothing from you. We will do the best we can, but if we are facing army. Back home, we are facing police. Because everything with a gun we are facing, with bare hands. And it doesn't touch you. You are not moved. That's how evil some of you are. All you're concerned about is, how do I become envious? You cannot be Nnamdi. Elohim sent me. The devil sent you. So who do you think is going to win? God in heaven sent me. You were sent by Lucifer. So who do you think is going to win this very battle? So do you actually think that talking rubbish on Facebook is going to save you? Do you think it's going to save you? When the time comes, you will know how mean we are. Right now, you have no idea. You will see it very, very soon. Let's see. And imagine he's protesting in Delta State. In Igbo land. In Delta State. Protesting. Calling federal government, come and help us. And this is what Britain loves, British diplomats. Not Boris Johnson, by the way. Hey, Igbos are, they have come again. They are discriminating against Fulani. That is the essence of what Channels TV is doing. If you don't know, let me tell you. Let's listen.
Legal occupants of the places we are living in Delta.
They are legal occupants in our farmland. Farmland they didn't buy. Listen.
They should come to our aid and halt and stop this said local government chairman from passing this his so-called executive order. Whoever is living in any place is a lawful tenant, is a legal occupant of that place. We have the receipt they gave us for each year we pay tenancy.
The ultimatum is a 7-day. That doesn't mean that where necessary, some certain amendments or waivers will not be given, or extension of time. But the important thing of note here, because we're going to come down very heavily on defaulters. We have agreed in tandem with the traditional rulers, we have agreed with stakeholders, we have communicated the police, we have communicated the DSS. What we are saying is that enough is enough. We don't want to accommodate anybody in our bushes anymore. It is not about me, it's about our people, and it is what we have decided. And that is how the way to go. If you want to live in Oshimili North, for God's sake, my brother, what is too much about picking up a property in the town? Come and live with us. Our people also farm in the bushes, but we don't live in the bushes. So how come you're bothered about living in the bushes? That means there's something about you.
He has spoken like a man. Spoken like a man. Mr. Ndukwe. Like a human being, like a man. We don't live in the bushes. When we go to Kaduna, do we live in the bushes? When we go to Zaria, do we live in the bushes? We are in Meduguri, are we in the bushes? We are in Sokoto, are we in the bushes? We go to the town, we develop it. We develop their places. They come, they go to our bushes to take our land from us. And some of you are busy making useless videos and making a caricature of your idiots online. A caricature of your stupidity. And online, people are laughing at you, but you don't know. The Janjaweed, they are laughing. In Kaduna, in Sokoto, they are just holding up laughing, driving their fancy cars. They're laughing at you because of your stupidity. One day you are Biafra, the next day you're Niger Delta, the other one you're South, the other one you're Bendel, the other one you're Midwest. Only white human being. You're not ashamed. Look at, because of that, Bendel, Niger Delta, we are not Igbo. That is why they are in Oshimiri. What is the name of Oshimiri? Oshimiri North. Igbo name, river, for river. People don't reason. People, and that is why whenever fools come on Radio Biafra, they get irritated. Because they cannot comprehend the level of understanding we possess relating to our condition in the zoo called Nigeria as Biafrans. They marvel at it. We must continue this very evening. The time now, of course, is how many minutes past? It is now 9 minutes past 8 p.m. in the evening. The whole world is listening to us, of course. Now, listen on. All of a sudden, the same Okoro we've been talking to for ages is now saying, we are now going to take our destiny into our hands. What does that mean in simple English? That thing that Nnamdi Kanu has been saying, that IPOB has been saying for years, now we are not going to do it. We will take our destiny into our hands. That is what we have been doing. This is Governor Okoro. Ifeanyi Okoro. Are you listening? He is now saying that as headsmen attacks persist in Delta. So now you agree that headsmen are attacking. Now you believe that these people are doing all they can to exterminate us. Now you believe that things are no longer right. Exactly what IPOB has been saying for years. But you are the governor that helped a Fulani man clean up Delta for you. Clean up Delta in the sense that they removed every defenses we put in place in Delta to allow the Fulanis to come in. Now they have come in. They promised him vice president as well. You do your bid for vice presidency. He has done it. Now his land is under threat. Now he's suffering. Now he's feeling the heat. Do you see how they roll in the zoo? Do you now understand it? That's the final cover for you. Now they believe that there is killing going on everywhere. And the Fulanis are protesting in land that doesn't belong to them. Unbelievable. Things are happening in the zoo, you know. Things are happening in the zoo, I tell you. Things are happening in the zoo that some of you will marvel. What is happening in the zoo will shock some of you. It will shock you. And that is why we remain very, very determined that Biafra must be restored. That's the only solution. It doesn't matter where you come from. Biafra is the only solution. Have you now seen that all that Niger Delta rubbish? Do you see that it holds no water? All that south garbage, you see, holds no water. People say, oh, but I'm not insulting you. How can I be insulting you? I'm insulting something that doesn't exist. It does not exist. Not in common sense, not in geography, not in politics. It doesn't exist. There's nothing called Niger Delta. It's as simple as that. How am I insulting you? How am I insulting you? The white man came and took you as slaves. They didn't insult you. They brought their religion and gave you. They didn't insult you. They changed your way of life. They didn't insult you. They named you Water Port Harcourt. It wasn't an insult. They gave you their names. It wasn't an insult. They told you that a Christian name is better than your traditional name. You accepted. It wasn't an insult. Huh? Are you listening? But me telling you that Niger Delta is a nomenclature that shouldn't exist is an insult. Do you say you are even practicing racism in your stupidity? The white man came, took you as slaves to America to work for free for 250 years. It wasn't an insult. He brought his religion. It wasn't an insult. He told you that answering one matter is bad. You agreed. That Christina is better. It wasn't an insult, not an insult. But me telling you that referring to yourself as a Niger Delta person is the height of stupidity is somehow an insult. You see how you reason? You see how some of you reason? Before, as somebody rightly noted, elders are the ones that tell history to their children. But today, we are the children. We are telling, I'm an elder, of course. Our children are now telling us about history. Later on, they will say we don't have respect for elders. They don't respect. How can we know nothing? Okay, you don't know anything. How can I respect you? You're an elder, but you have nothing. Your brain is empty. How can I respect you? You are an elder and you're there. You couldn't say that the Fulanis were coming. You say what an elder sees sitting down. A child cannot see it from the top of a tree. But you've been sitting down in the zoo for how many years? So you couldn't see the trailer, Dangote trailer bringing ganja weed. So you didn't see the trailer. But you're an elder. Who can see when he's in the bunker? But the ordinary Dangote trailer you cannot see. Then you claim the leader. Unbelievable. Let's continue. Any Anybody that you see making a video or a comment against Biafra agitation is a Janjaweed apologist. All those who like their posts are all Janjaweed supporters. They are the people fighting to destroy you. They are servants of the caliphate, all of them in Pandev, all of them in Ohanese. These are the people destroying you. Forget the nonsense they tell you. Forget the rubbish they say when they come on television. They do not mean it because they don't have what it takes. They don't have the guts to push through their conviction. They don't have it. They don't have it. If you tell somebody the truth, it's an insult. What sort of human beings are you? What sort of you? Look at how poor you are. Poverty written all over you. And it says an insult. Because funds are needed to secure Biafra land. And knowing how hard it is, I know for an Igbo man to fund anything he would not directly benefit from, I am directing that every financial assistance that people intended to channel towards IPOB should now please be diverted to World Igbo Congress. Go and say that with them, not tomorrow you start telling people you gave us 4.4 trillion. I don't want it. We are going to do all we can and continue to do all we can to safeguard Biafra land as much as possible. As much as possible. Not just one, everybody. I have seen today a lot of you people saying we're Igbo group. This one is answering this name, that name. I've read about 4. Writing to UN, writing to all this world. That is how they are. Everybody's writing to UN. Everybody's writing to EU. Oh, how many do you think that EU will take you seriously? How many of you are writing to us about the same thing? How many of you? How many organizations do you have? They will say no wonder Janjaweed are in your land because you are so, I don't know, your search for relevance is nauseating. Always looking for relevance. Yeah, let them see my name in Brussels. I want to see my name in Washington. Hey, put my name there. Let me sign as well. Stop wasting your time and channel all your efforts and energies into strengthening whatever position WIC has as well, or already in America. And from there, perhaps something tangible may be able to come forward. I asked some people a while back to try and contribute towards what we are doing. If you remember very well, I went to America. This time America, I keep going to US all the time. I keep going and reminding them they don't do anything. I was in the USA a few months ago and I asked them to contribute $1. They never did. It was only one of our sisters that gave 10,000. Our mothers gave 7,000. What is in the account, I will tell you today. I set up this fund long time ago for this period of Janjaweed coming. What we have in the account is $40,000. You know me, I don't hide anything. That is what they have contributed. And out of that $40,000, $20,000 was contributed by only 4 women. What does that tell you about your people? Now you can see that they want us to be conquered and taken over. Can you see it? In America, and the money hasn't been touched though, before you start making your videos tomorrow. It's still there in the USA. 40,000. 40,000. 40,000. What does that tell you about your people? What does that tell you about who you are? What does that tell you about who you are? What does it tell you about your mentality and the way you reason? I told them, Fulanis are coming. I warned them. Every time I go to America, I warn them, the Fulanis are coming, they're coming. Every time they're coming. I was sounding like a broken record. Some of the evil ones in Yoruba media, they write, Nnamdi Kanu is instigating trouble. But now that the Janjaweed would have come, they no longer write. To come back and say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu was right. No, they won't do it. Now you understand them the way they flow. You understand who these people are. Now listen very carefully. I repeat, nobody should give money to IPOB to support the driving away of Janjaweed. We don't need it. I don't need it. Find who you can give it to. Not to, I don't give us. Now that the Fulanis have come in, you are looking for IPOB. You go and do it yourself. They'll cut off your head. Go and try it now and see. Do you know how many men we've lost? In Ebonyi. This time, do you know how many men we have lost in Ebonyi? Do you want me to publish the videos and the pictures for you to see before you believe? That was how we imported a very expensive equipment. And I was telling our people, telling their friends, we have bought this transmitter. They never believed they were making videos. You ate money. I don't know what is wrong with them. You ate money. You stole money. You did this. You did that. Where's it? After I listened to them, I did a video of where the container was. The same person asking me to castigating me and saying that I ate the money, that where is the container, was the same person that took the clip and went to DSS in Oka to tell them, oh, I know where this video was made. You need here, come let me take you there. And he's a Biafran. And he has a microphone today. Only I'm saying he's working to unify, working to get Biafra. I told him the Sabo with microphone. The same people and I said to them about it. They didn't even believe me. When I was arrested, they didn't believe me. When the same transmit very massive that was tendered in evidence in court, do you know they were still making videos? He ate our money. They were still making videos. Until Buhari, when he was alive, 31st of December 2015, on national television in the zoo, being interviewed by four journalists, said that one they call Kanu. If you see the sophisticated equipment he brought into the country, it was only when a Janjaweed decided that they believed that I brought it in. They needed to hear it from the mouth. Oh, that is how wicked and evil they are. When you see them making their sweet video, he's a fraudster. He's a con artist. What did I steal from you? Nothing. I'm a con artist because I want Janjaweed to go. I'm a con artist because I told you are an idiot agitating for Niger Delta. Only a fool can do that. It's the truth. Simple, pure, plain truth. That is how he's a con man. Until Buhari, when he was alive, opened his mouth and said it. The idiots, they didn't believe. The same person talking rubbish. And the day I showed the container, it didn't take up to 2 months. Everything was done, was gone. That container now that we bought a very expensive equipment is now in DSS compound in Abuja. And they're still doubting it. Maybe I need to publish the picture so they will know that I know everything that is going on there. This is how we are. That is why God has allowed the Fulanis to come in to teach us a lesson of our lives. After this experience, when next we hear a prophecy, a prediction, we will then hurry up and do something about it. Elohim is about to teach Biafrans a very bitter lesson that you will tell your children about it. And as me, I'm going to write history book. And as I'm going to write now this year history book, letting our children know in the future that all of you are responsible for the mess you are in before you can start telling them rubbish. Because all of you are liars. You prefer to lie, to deceive yourselves. I asked you what is the meaning of Niger Delta. Some of you to come out and say that I'm fighting for Niger Delta because I see that Igbos are going to dominate me. That's your only reason. That is the truth. That is your only reason. Now, the question is simple. Show me when you have been dominated by Igbos. You cannot show me. You claim, after all, during slavery, they take Igbos to the coastline and they ship them. So when was the domination? People that dominate you, they come, they force you to speak their language. Did Igbos conquer anybody and force them to speak their language? So where is domination? So carrying the blessing of God and building industries is domination. You see how foolish some people are? Do you see how foolish some people are? When I say, they say, don't say it, please. We are angry. You can be as angry as you like in your stupidity, but I will tell you how foolish you are. That's my job. And I will tell you. It's my job. I'll tell you. I want you to repent. I asked them to contribute. They said, no, now we don't want it anymore. But I can tell you categorically that we have started engaging our traditional rulers. I won't tell you where, because that's what you're waiting for. Oh, who did you tell? Are you consulting people? I am not going to tell you. What you want me to do is to come out, maybe publish videos or publish names of our respected and respectable traditional rulers and elders. So you can take it to DSS and collect maybe 6,000 naira to buy a recharge card. That's what you want. So you think we don't know your tricks? We know all those stunts you're pulling, we know everything. We know. Don't think we're stupid. You see them, they come out. They are called ocean provocators. You see them, they come out. They speak. You think that they're with you. Hey, is Biafra more strong? We need Biafra. For where? Sabotua and Conco Sabo. Traitors of the highest order. At least nobody can accuse Nnamdi Kanu of being a sellout. You know a traitor when they sell out. That's how you know them. You know a traitor when they are at peace with their oppressor. That is how you know who a traitor is. That is how you know who a sabo is. They are living at peace with their traitor. Sorry, with their oppressor. These are the traitors. And I said, they scam people. So, scamming people is fighting for freedom, is scamming people. That's their brain. That is what Al-Majri wants them to say. And they are so stupid. Al-Majri will take their clip and all this nonsense they write and give it to the Western world. So when I go to meetings, instead of me to present or defend the argument for the establishment or coming of Biafra, I am there defending what these idiots are saying. They don't know that the Janjaweed is using them, but they are so foolish. Have you seen any Fulani come out to criticize Fulani herdsmen? It's a simple question. Have you? How many of them criticize Boko Haram? I say how many? You think you're smart? Umokoko. Think you're smart? You're yapping rubbish. You're talking rubbish, talk rubbish. Talking nonsense. Cowards and fools. You go behind the back. You have meeting with Janjaweed. You pray with them. All of you have meeting with Mustafa. You pray with those idiots from the gutter. They call out the white youths, and you come out and they say, Biafra this, Biafra that. You are an idiot. You are a fool, and we know you are. We have all your records. We have them. All you do is to gossip. Those working for Nigeria, how are they going to yap rubbish? Say they have constitution, this, rub your nonsense, pure garbage. We are the ones shaking the zoo. Elohim used us, we have turned the zoo down. This IPOB, we destroyed the zoo. Complete. No president, no vice. Chief of staff is dead. There is nobody in charge. It's only Aisha with her lover, fooling around. Mad people everywhere. You think we are here to mince words? That means you don't know me then. You have no idea who I am. Ask the dead Buhari will tell you. In his court, I called him a madman in Abuja. I called him a madman. So that means you don't know who. If you think I'm going to massage your ego, make you to feel good, oh, Niger Delta, you are talking rubbish. There is nothing like Niger Delta. Only an idiot. Only a complete a buffoon. You say he's from Niger Delta. Only a complete idiot. Because my last child, Nnamdi Kanu will defeat in an argument. He's 4 years old. If you open your useless mouth, say, we Niger Deltans. You're a complete idiot. Complete fool you are. There are mad people everywhere. You didn't go to school. Think teaching one or two poorly conceived grammar somehow makes you an educated person. Have to be able to reason. Reason is what makes you human. Reason. Think, reason. That's all. That's all. Listen to life in the zoo. What is happening in the zoo? Some of you don't know what is going on. I'll tell you.
Justin,
listen.
Local government area, Imo State. I'm Nigeria.
Army.
People are
leaving the army. They are killing our sons in the north, in the army.
My closest friends,
all his friends are dead in the army.
Na 7th Medugri.
7th Medugri.
Na Mamalari Baraka.
Mamalari.
Bagalud. Igaho. Na Ebu Ndi Ba Igaho.
If you go to 7th Div in Medugri, Mamalari Barracks, the burial ground where they bury soldiers, go there and look at the names. They are all Igbo names. They are Biafran names. Our young men are dying, fighting the terrorism that the same Janjaweed created, when meanwhile they are shipping their fighters into our land. And you claim you're intelligent. You claim you are smart. You claim you're Igbo. You claim you have brain. I tell you the truth. The truth. It doesn't mean I hate you. I don't. It is the truth. Igbo people think they have sense. An average Igbo idiot will tell you we are smart. My village is called Ako. Ako and Uche are not the same thing. Ako means being clever. Uche means being intelligent. They are not the same thing. Cleverness and intelligence are not the same. People confuse the two. They are not the same. Ako and Uche are not the same thing. Ako means you're cunning. You want to cheat people. You are conniving, maneuvering to gain advantage. A very dangerous and debilitating Igbo disease. Maneuvering to gain advantage. I won't be in anything and my name won't come out. I want, as your name is being heard, I also want my name to be heard. But you are not appointed to do this work. If I'm not in the spirit, I can't do this. They had opportunities to kill me. From my arrest to taking me to DSS to going to prison to when I came out, opportunity after opportunity to kill me. They tried to kill me at Obakala Junction. If Elohim destined that I will be dead by now, I'll be dead. They have had opportunities to kill me. But some of you don't remember that, do you? You don't remember. Because you're possessed by the devil. Children of petition. All you do is you yap your rubbish. Day after day, you yap nonsense. We have destroyed the zoo. Ask them who is fighting them in Ebonyi. Who drove Fulani away from Anam? Who drove them away from Anam? Who is fighting Fulani right now? This minute in Ebonyi is IPOB. You want me to come out and announce everything, show you video, show you pictures, so you can use it to go and collect money from Janjaweed. Informants claiming you're offering a critique of IPOB, what they are doing. Even this broadcast we make is a problem, is irritating them. But you go and listen to your Yoruba pastor every 3 hours talking garbage. If you come back from church, you are home watching all those religious channels that doesn't add any value to your life. That's how foolish some of you are. I will tell you, is the truth. Think I'm here to massage words? In my Malare barracks in Medugri, 7th Div, go there and you see your sons bearing Igbo names, fighting for Nigeria. They have killed all of them. And you don't know, it's a very simple trick. Take all their fighting men, put them in the army and in the police, take them to Medugri, they kill all of them, take them to Sambisa Forest, they kill them, they now bring their own soldiers in. Knowing fully well that you have all been depleted, that your young men are dead, they now come in to take over your land. Do you understand it? It's a simple trick. It's an Alamajiri trick. A simple Fulani rules, and all of you fell for it. You are intellectuals. You said idiot will come out, write 1 or 2 paragraphs. I'm an intellectual. I'm an intellectual. Who doesn't know that what we're saying is the truth? I said, who doesn't know? You can't be like us. You can't be as popular as we are. You can never be. We are IPOB all over the world. You cannot command men. If I give an order tonight, everyone will burnt down. Do you understand that? Men are waiting for command. Are you aware of that? I remember when I was abroad, I was preaching, oh, come home now, come home. And as soon as I came in 2015, I was arrested and people started to agitate for my release. They said, oh, why did he bring his trouble here? This way is not Osuma Beke. If you take it up, no. You bring it down, no. I was abroad, broadcasting on Radio Biafra. They said you can't come home, and I came home. They said, why did you come home? You should go back to where you're coming from. You brought trouble here. Some of you don't know what's happening. It's an update on the invasion. Update.
These are Fulani.
Listen.
Trooping in Ojibo, in the local governments of Biafran land.
Another one.
Meaning that they bought some portion of land here. And we resist them because we never sold.
Of course, we resist them. We are IPOB. We resist.
IPOB.
We resist.
We stand firm as the villagers troop out in mass to tell them that this place belongs to Biafra. And they should go and collect back their money from whoever they gave it to.
IPOB in Ebonyi, fighting on 8 fronts in Ebonyi. We are in 8 locations in Ebonyi fighting Nigerian army, fighting Fulani Janjaweed, fighting the complicity and idiocy of the governor, fighting the complicity and idiocy of the politicians in Abuja making promises. IPOB is on the ground fighting. All you want me to do is to give you every secret, tell you everything we are doing. When we fire one shot, I'll come back and I say, oh, today we fired 1 rifle in Ebonyi. Are you not foolish? You want me to tell you everything that we are doing? You think our people will follow me if we're not doing anything? Is that what you think? Is that what you think? You mask your jealousy with stupid words that come out of your useless mouth. Because you know we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. Untouchable, spotlessly clean. That is why I say to anybody anything I want to say. But you cannot say the same thing. None of them can. They cannot. Because they are compromised. I'm not saying you shouldn't work with me, but you must be clean. Very clean. Spotlessly clean. Not one leg in the zoo, one leg in freedom fighting, one leg in resource control. Do you have a resource control anymore? That's an argument for idiots. What's resource control? Did we not force you to abandon resource control? It was IPOB. IPOB forced the taking away from resource control into freedom. They ran a master challenge with common sense and ancient adage. You know, you find answer to everything in Igbo adage. Are you aware of that? Everything is there. You're looking for resource control. We are the ones that drove you away from that rubbish into freedom. Ask you to fight for your freedom. Everybody is there. We are doing the best we can. We don't need your useless money, Igbo people with their useless sense. Tomorrow you tell us, come and give us account. I think once I'm giving you up to $1 billion. You don't know them all. You have no idea who they are. Look at your about the funded Amoteku. Did you hear any of them come on social media talking? Tell us how much is that van? How much is the spare tire? I can see the mirror was damaged. How much is the mirror? The side mirror? If I'm telling you, if it were to be Biafrans, or should I say Igbos setting up Amoteku, hey, come and give us account. That's what we hear forever and ever. Let us continue. They are hiding weapons everywhere. It is everywhere, everywhere. You know, local, you know, Mwahia, where I come from. You know, local Mwahia South, the village of Oku. I know Oku very well. They have lost their ancestral land to Fulani herdsmen in Mwahia. The villagers have been battling with the traditional ruler of the place, one Martin Ugoji. Martin Ugoji. He was the one that negotiated with a so-called professor, Otunta, Yatu Mudika University, to hand over our land to the Janjaweed, the Fulani, Eze Boniface, Ifani, Izwogo, Mr. Martins, Ugoji. In Oku, in Olokoro, there are a lot of Olokoro people in America. Those from Oku, they are selling your land to the Janjaweed. These are the quality of traditional rulers we have. Some idiots we are making talking nonsense about Obunike, saying after that. They think we are fools. They think we are fools. They have sold the land, and we have all the evidence. And I sent the record, I sent the video. They sent Obido Obiano to me saying, what he's saying is that I gave Obido Obiano the videos. Has he come back to me again? The answer is no. I don't talk rubbish. Anything I tell you is gospel from heaven. I am under divine mandate to secure our land, to make sure that Biafra comes in our time. And if we do our maths right, if we remain dedicated and focused, Biafra will come this year. If we remain resolute, unwavering, don't follow the enemies what they are saying. Remain focused. That attack I asked you to launch, maintain that attack. Don't deviate. Don't allow them to deviate you. They are working for Janjaweed. Don't allow them. Focus on the line of attack. Our aim is Aso Rock. We're not moving from there. We are not shifting from Aso Rock. That is our gateway. Don't move from there because it's empty. It's empty. Don't let them deceive you. If we work hard this year, I'm telling you before God and man, therefore will come. If we work hard, simple by working hard, what do we need to do? It's like pregnancy, they can't cover it. I want to know the most corrupt diplomat in the world in Abuja. I said the most corrupt can never support this grand deception. There is no Buhari in Aso Rock. As simple as that. If common sense cannot tell you that as a Nigerian, then your mom wasted time carrying you for 9 months in the stomach. Because I'm telling you, I don't know how to describe you. I don't know how to describe you. Our attack is also, we are not moving from there. I made my post before I came on air. Somebody said to me, oh, you're not talking about Buhari's anatomy today. I said, Buhari is dead. I can't talk about him. He's a dead man. Can't you see? Are you blind? Are you blind? They concoct videos for you, telling you it is after Salah prayer. He talked to, are we stupid? Look at the video again. You will see the hand of a man coming from the back of the idiot that you call Buhari. Can't you see? Are you blind? Are you that foolish? Of course, some of you are. You're not black people from Africa. This is black. How can you reason? How can you reason? How can you reason? You are the same thing they're doing to you now. The Janjaweed is coming. They have diverted the attention of every media house in the world away from the reality of the invasion of the South. That's what they do. When I came out of prison, about to come out of prison, instead of some people like Ohaneze never sent anybody to come to prison to see me. All others did. Our late father Ike sent somebody to prison to come and see me. Not once, not 2 times. Everybody came. Ali Budiman Foundation came. Uzukomon, they came. Ohaneze never came. They never sent any delegation to come and see me. Not one. And when I came out of respect, I went to Enugu, to the house of Nnamdi, and I told him. He was in the USA. I went 2 times to go and see him. I said, this is the situation. They are going to come. They will come. It's only a matter of time. Don't let them divide us. They are coming. I will listen to you, but you must do A, B, C. If you do it, we are secured. They couldn't do it. They couldn't. And today, are we not dying? Are we not being killed? Instead of them to come out and say, we apologize. Come and apologize to IPOB. Say, we are sorry. That's all. Is an ancient proverb where we come from. You must apologize publicly. Publicly. That we got it wrong. All of you. You will say, we got it wrong. IPOB was right. You must say it. You must say it before our people in public, that they may know we preach the truth. You must say it. They are now smuggling arms. Arms are coming in from everywhere. The Janjaweed across the Sahel are moving into the south. We are discussing it now. It goes in through one ear. It goes out of the other ear. When the slaughter begins, when the great slaughter commences, I will tell you today what the UN will tell you. All of you letter writers, writing letter. I don't know why I'm in the mood to always be giving a day, because I don't know how to say it in English language. You leave the main point and you're discussing something that's irrelevant. They have come to our land. Who are the people that have been right from day one? You're asking for who to believe or who to follow or who to support. I'm asking you, who are the people that told you that they were coming? Who are the people that prepared for their coming? Who are those fighting them? When they said that they were fighting Fulani in Ebonyi, do you think the spirit fighting them? Is that IPOB? Is that IPOB? I don't know how else to explain to people. I don't know how else to explain to them. But I know that Aso Rock is empty. Despite their Janjaweed, what they want to do is to divert our thing. What they want to do is very simple. If Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB continues to hammer on the fact that there is no president, they will unleash war. Well, this thing that the Janjaweed are coming is the brainchild of El Rufai and Mama Daura. What they want to do is to say, if you're saying that there is nobody in Asarok, and knowing the consequences of such revelation, what we're now going to do is to instigate war. There's going to be a war. So the war will be talking about the war and not about who is in Asarok. And they know that very well. And I'm telling them that Fulani must know this today. Today's date is the 27th day of May 2020. Let me say this to the Fulani who are listening, all over the Janjaweed, all over the world. By the time we finish the encounter in Biafra land, the Hausa people will overthrow all the emirs in the north. Right? That it sounds funny now, isn't it? It sounds very ridiculous and unbelievable. I am telling the Fulani Janjaweed, this thing you have started, by the time we are done with you, Hausa people will reclaim their land back from you. All your emirs will be driven away from Hausa land. Write it down. So that as I told them in the US and they were talking rubbish, write it down. When it happens, history will refer back to this broadcast and say, on the 27th of May 2020, with the time standing at precisely 16 minutes to 9 p.m. in the evening in Biafra land time, that Nnamdi Kanu said this. You see all those emirs are saying in the north, they will go. Hausa youths will rise up. Will remember how they have been lied to. The same lies they fed the brain of people that refer to themselves as Niger Delta. The same lies. That is what Fulani does. Before Fulani conquers you, Fulani will feed you with lies for years. They will fill your brain with lies. They will bombard you with lies. After they must have weakened your immune system, they now invade you. It was those lies and their agents, like Nnamdi, that they used. I saw someone was telling me about the interview that Nnamdi gave to BBC, saying that that he's kind to IPOB, that we're not kind to him. How can we be kind to you? We have the video of you at Nike Lake Resort trying to gather opposition against IPOB. I have a video of where you were instigating Operation Python Dance. You were the ones begging about Yari. Some of you that want to be vice president, you were the ones begging Abba Kyari to attack IPOB and to kill Nnamdi Kanu. If you bring out the Bible, the Torah, and you swear on it, you know you will die. All of you, keep remembering, at Nike Lake Resort, Archbishop Anitola was there. There are many notable men that were there. If not for them, you would have passed a resolution condemning IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. What is my offense? What did I do wrong? I told you the Fulanis are coming to kill you. Let us be prepared. That's my crime. Have they not come? Have they not come? I'm asking you. I want me to respect you. If I'm dead in the grave, how can I give you respect from the grave? But you planned to have me killed. All of you, you kept mad. You planned to have me killed. When I was in prison, some of you are running around thinking, oh, when he comes out, he will go into politics, he will help us, he will be like another dumb, stupid who was rich. As if I want money, I don't need your money. None of you sent me abroad, my father did. So, I didn't win lottery to go to overseas. My father sent me abroad to go and study. So I wasn't raised that way. My father did not raise me to become material conscious. I'm not that sort of a person. It's to serve the public. So that anytime somebody knocks on your door, you can open the door. At least if they're not Janjaweed, they have come to kill you. Asarok is empty. We must listen to me very carefully. If you want to see Biafra this year, all of you must go and join Twitter, you must join Facebook, you must join Instagram. We must keep bombarding them with facts and figures. We will have weakened. Elohim has done the job. It's for us to go and march around the wall and bring it down. That's what we are doing now. Metaphorically speaking. Elohim has done. Asarok is empty. We are not that. We are anybody trying to divert it. Oh, it's too much now. You start talking about this thing for nearly 10 years. It doesn't matter. We focus on it. That is our gateway. Asarok is empty. I want to see the head of state or the diplomat that will say, oh, Aisha, what you did is very good. Congratulations. I want to see the person. Anywhere in the world. That you may know that what we're saying is the truth. We are live and we are direct. Humanity is paying attention. Not minding what Facebook is doing. Mankind is paying attention because we are being listened to everywhere. On radio, we are on apps, everywhere. The world is listening. Not just on Facebook. This is 0.003% of our listeners all over the world. If I tell you, anytime I finish, the reach I have on every broadcast is over 2 million. If you don't know, that's only on Facebook, only on social media. So I forgot all these games they're playing, trying to dampen your spirit, trying to suppress our numbers. So that is their game. We know. Is Yoruba that writing all these things for them? I know they prepare it for them. When I say Yoruba, the very bad ones, your media, not every. Of course, in Igbo, not have good. We have good people in Igbo. Even in Ijoland, we have good people, very good people. Can't you go to my page and see it? Good men and women in Ijoland. We are growing, but we grow on the truth. Not by suppressing it, on that truth. All those lies they told you, Igbo man is your problem. And that is what I'm exposing. I am exposing it that the world may know. Igbo man was never your problem. It's those occupying every position in NNPC. Those running the oil, those you guide pipeline for. You're not ashamed. You're a pipeline guard for Alamati in the north. That's why they say Jigawa owns the oil. Who is the idiot now? Just blabbing mouth, stinking mouth all over the place. Mad people everywhere. Asawak is empty. Let's listen to a Yoruba pastor. They can't give me credit. They will ask, I told you before, they always look for a Yoruba person to give the credit. Yes, that's how they are. The same way an Igbo man would, sitting down, hey, so does it mean after all these things, hey, people will say, Nnamdi can't make it possible. Why not me? Instead of that, let me destroy everything. That is one dangerous, very evil and dangerous threat you have in an Igbo man. So everyone has their own fault, too. Everybody. And it's our duty here to highlight it. If you know the one I have done, you tell me. Not empty allegation, substantiate what you're saying. Let us listen to what they have to say about when I warned you that Jubril is in charge. Let's listen to a Yoruba man I'm sure some of you pay every week. You give him money to maintain a very lavish lifestyle. This is where you pay your tithe. So you listen to him. At least Igbos will listen because he's Yoruba. They would prefer to listen to an outsider than their own. That's how they are. That's how they are wired. Let me play it for you so you listen. It's an old clip. But listen to it. Because you learn from it. Listen. Listen very, very carefully. Listen.
This disturbing information came from the Nation's newspaper of Tuesday, November 27, 2018.
Listen.
Written by one of Olatunji exploded with authoritative assertions, he said.
Olatunji, follow this thing very carefully, please. This is Oyedepo, I'm sure it is, explaining about Jubril in Asorok. He never gave me credit. I don't need it. Heaven knows I don't need it. I told you, the reason why I'm playing this, I told you only 2 weeks ago that the reason why the Yoruba media, they know the truth, they don't want to publish it is because they don't want to hear tomorrow that, oh, it came from a Biafran, it came from an Igbo man, it was Nnamdi Kanu. No! If my name was Lang Reshit, it will be a different game. I want to prove it to you. That's why I'm playing this. So listen very carefully, please. Listen. Before they say I'm prejudiced. I don't like some people. I do. But I hate bad behavior. I can't stand it. Because I'm clean. Listen.
Claiming, among others, that President Buhari had died in the UK in 2017 where he was undergoing medical treatment.
From Nnamdi, not from Nnamdi Kanu. As soon as they brought that nonsense back, I told them that thing there in Asorok, from my father's compound, I said, that thing in Asorok is not Buhari. I said it in 2017. He is referring to an article written in 2018, loaded with authoritative facts. Hey, Elohim Narotito. Let's listen.
How?
Listen.
That the entrenched Kaba in Asorok had procured a Buhari double in Sudan and press him into service as Nigeria's president.
Yes.
What? The representative of the Jubril family, that is the supposed imposter, having discovered the gigantic swindle, suddenly showed up in Abuja the other day and demanded to be compensated with a power-sharing arrangement at the federal level in perpetuity, plus 50% of Nigeria's oil revenues for 10 years in the first instance. Now, that was on the back page of the Nations of Tuesday, 27th of November.
Tuesday, 27th of November, go and find it. Back page of Nation newspaper. Find it. It was in 2018. 2018. Listen, this is a report. I'm sure Igbos will not listen because it's not Nnamdi Kanu speaking, so they will listen. You know, that's how we are. They will listen now. Yoruba man is talking. You know, we love Yoruba. To be honest with you, we do. It's only Yorubas that can say something and an Igbo man will listen. If you want Igbo people to do something, go and tell a Yoruba pastor to say something, and the Igbos will listen. I'm being honest with you. That is the truth. Before heaven and earth, that is the truth. If you want Igbos to listen to anything, go and tell a Yoruba pastor. Winners redeem. Any of them, if once they say it, it becomes gospel. That's how we are as a race. Let's try and listen more.
That, and I quote, failing these, they would tell their story to the whole world.
Blackmail from the Jubilee family.
He further stated that the Nigerian authorities have entered into frantic negotiations with Jubilee's family to head off what is sure to be the world's dirtiest and worst kept secret, he said.
Are you listening? Dirtiest and worst kept. That is why I'm telling you, Asorok, don't let them distract your attention. They write a lot of rubbish. They concoct all nonsense. Do you know that somebody that said that he's a Biafran, I was doing Biafra with in America, when I was photoshopping the pictures of our mothers in Anambra, saying that they had rejected IPOB and me. Somebody who's an intellectual, so to speak, in America. That's how we are. This is Oyedepo telling you, I want this publication found. Go and find it and read it. Yoruba journalists listened to what I said, one of those with conscience, and wrote it in a detailed manner. I was the one that told you this man is from Sudan. I gave you his name. Now that Yoruba has written it, now it is now acceptable. The same thing Nyamwood and World Igbo Congress did. Have I not forgiven them? I've forgiven World Igbo Congress. That's what I'm asking you to go and affiliate with them. Every group should affiliate with them. Let them get this work done. Are you hearing it? Let me start from the beginning once I show you understand it. I want it found. I want this publication found now, please. I want it found. I want it found.
This disturbing information.
Listen, disturbing information
came from the Nation's newspaper of Tuesday, November 27, 2018.
November 27, 20 what again? Let us get that. I want us to get it right. I want us to get it right. I'm now behaving like I'm now pausing and moving forward like Simon. I'm now playing video, moving it. I enjoy his program anyway. I watched it before coming here. He's doing very well. All of them are doing very, very well. All of them are doing well. And I'm sure it was the expose by Prince Darlington that caused a change of heart in those that fell behind. We welcome every sinner that has repented. Once you repent, we welcome you. When I listen to Simon, but he goes forward and backward with his videos. Very amazing, I must say, amazing. Let's listen once again to what this man has to say. This is Oyedepo.
From the Nation's newspaper of Tuesday, November 27, 2018.
2018. November 27, 2018. November 27, 2018. Back page of Nation newspaper. Everything I had been saying about Jubril was there. Yoruba media knew. Yoruba pastors knew. Oyedepo knows that Asorok is empty. Hey. They know Asorok is empty. Asorok is empty. Is empty. November 27, November 27. Even Tinubu's newspaper, they know. Please hurry up and get it home. Before they ask Google to delete it. Get it this night before they ask Google to delete it. Gospel from heaven. Like, I'm under divine, as long as I'm behind this man, I am under divine instruction from heaven. Divine. That is why I can never deviate. That is why I can never, my enemy is not there, I cannot compromise. That's why I'm talking rubbish. I cannot. I can never compromise. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. Anything you do, I can never wait. I can never, ever stop until Biafra is restored. Never. Those that know me, they know. And those that died in my compound, they know why they died. They died that I can continue, that Biafra will come. That was why they sacrificed their lives, that I may continue until Biafra is restored. And they know that we will do it. By the grace of Elohim, not by any. I'm a man, I don't have any strength, I have no energy, I have nothing. Only Elohim, God in heaven, can do it. I know that for sure. And you know that the God we worship is a marvelous God. He looks into your heart. Once your heart is clean and pure, anything you ask for will be given to you. All these things that's happening is just simple prayers. That's all. Simple prayers. Let's continue. Let us continue. And to prove that what Oyedeko just said is correct, the Nigeria Air Force came out and said, we are loyal to Buhari. Have you heard of such nonsense before? During all these so-called democratic dispensation from 1999 under Obasanjo, under Yaradua, under Jonathan, under even when Buhari was alive, how can the Air Force come out and say we are loyal to our own head of state? It is a given. It's in the Constitution. You have to be loyal. Are you now following? Are you now following? They said we are loyal. I couldn't believe it when I read it. We are loyal to Buhari. How can you be? And in the picture, they showed the back of a man, not his face. Now they are very far. Somebody saw that thing on Saturday and said, this is Buhari. I said to them, you are insane. How can this be Buhari? An 80-year-old man. Are you blind? Go and look at every 80-year-old in your village. Look at the pictures they're telling you is Buhari. Does he look 80 years old? A man with kidney failure. A man that had part of his brain removed. He had a brain tumor behind his ears. How can that, you people, I don't know, Zook. Hey, these UG black people. Black people. Who did these things to you? Who caused you? Who did this to you? Very, very sad indeed. Extremely sad, I'm telling you. But I must preach the truth. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what Facebook does. Nigeria Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Abubakar Siddiq, has said that the Air Force is loyal to President Muhammadu Buhari. Why would they say they are loyal to him if the administration is not in trouble? Simple, common sense. Common sense. Why would the Air Force come out to say they are loyal to a president if that president is not under threat from somewhere? Do you understand it? Do you now understand it? It is the spirit of our fathers they killed in the battlefield, of our sons and our daughters that they starved to death. That was why Elohim said, I will destroy Nigeria for your sake. If your hands are clean, after our atonement in Malaysia, Elohim said, if you keep your hands clean, if you don't compromise, I will give you Biafra. I will destroy your enemies. Before your eyes, I will destroy them. And it's happening today. The Elohim is in charge. In heaven is in charge. This is gone. That is why Air Force is saying, oh, we are loyal to Buhari. Why would you be loyal to your head of state, your commander-in-chief, that the constitution says you must be loyal to anyway? Why must you assert that you're loyal to him? Is because the world is now telling Aisha, you are in trouble. Aisha, you are in trouble. They have told Gambari, you are in trouble. They are not saying we are loyal to Buhari. You think they don't know what we are doing? Their greatest nightmare is Nnamdi Kanu and his IPOB. I say IPOB doesn't belong to me, it belongs to God in heaven. But I lead them. With pride, I'm telling you. The very finest people on the face of the earth you can ever lead. We have nothing, but yet we move mountains. Mound we do. Any enemy we confront is decimated beyond recognition. Beyond recognition. That's how formidable we are. Because our hands are clean. Our hands are clean. Our hands are clean and will always be. Will always be. They now know Buhari never transferred presidential power to Abba. Are you listening to what is happening in the zoo? There is him fighting. They are fighting themselves. They can no longer contain themselves anymore. A woman is now in charge. Aisha Buhari is in charge. And in Islam, that is a no-no. There is no woman in Islamic world anywhere calling the shots. But Aisha is now in charge with her boyfriend. So, some people are upset about it. Very, very upset about it. Now they're fighting her. Air Force is pledging loyalty. Now they're saying Buhari never transferred power to Abba Kyari, and you're telling me that same Buhari is alive, and all this chitty chatter, all this nonsense is going on behind his back. He cannot speak. Is that the Buhari you know? The Buhari you know, when the chips are down, Buhari will tell you that my wife belongs to the kitchen, it belongs to my sitting room, belongs to the other room. You know that very well, very clearly. Are you telling me that same Buhari is alive and all this nonsense is going on without him reacting? That means you are either a baby, you are not born when Buhari took over from Shagari via a coup in 1983, or that you are not following politics, or that you are a dumb idiot. I'm telling you the truth. Buhari is alive and this is happening? Of course not. You know that. Oyedepo knows. Yoruba media, they know. But as I got an intel, which I'm not supposed to share with the whole world, but I'll share it tonight. I got an intel. I had a meeting, very important meeting yesterday with some people abroad, not black people, by the way. And they said to me that they were making efforts, and people told them in the US that they don't want Nigeria to break. That there are some people that don't want Nigeria to break. And they asked them why. They said because that they have 300 ethnic nationalities. And then it struck me. That's what they always do. Do you see? Ahoda is an ethnic nationality. Ahoda that is Igbo is ethnic nationality. Ikwe is ethnic nationality, which is Igbo. They say Ibibio is, which is of course the closest relative to the Igbo people. They don't want to tell the world that what you have are in essence 4 core blocks of people. They tell them instead you have 300. So American politicians are panicking and say, they're diplomats, not their politicians. I said, oh my goodness, if you try to break down, there will be war in 330 places. Understand the trick. There is that same blackmail. I'm giving you information that I shouldn't be giving you, but I'm giving it to the whole world so that they know. We are working hard. Why can't you divide this? They read my tweet, of course they do. Why can't you divide it now? They said because you start war in 300 places and the world doesn't have the will, the money, or the army to go and to come and police war in 300 places in a population of over 200 million people. That, do you see how the zoo is doing it? They bribe the diplomats in Abuja. They give them a lot of money. They bribe BBC. They bribe every news agency in the world to trot out this line. They have very top-notch consultancy firms working for them. Top. I'm telling you. They give them a lot of money. They lobby them. They give them money to bribe. But once you talk, they bribe you. Just go to the meeting and tell them that if you try to separate Biafra from Nigeria, there will be a war in 300 places and millions will die. That's the only thing they're telling them. Let me sip water. Now there is fighting in Asorok. Buhari never transferred power to Abba Kyari, and in all of the work, I want you to reason this way. In all of this nonsense, armed forces pledge loyalty to Buhari. Buhari never transferred power to. Why would Abba Kyari be mentioned when there is a vice president? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why would they even mention Abakari when the vice president is there, supposedly alive, supposedly relevant? He's a Yoruba man, and I'm asking myself, why all this debate about did Abakari did Buhari, of course, Jubril, give out to Abakari or not? Where is the vice president as constitutionally stipulated? Where? I hope it's now becoming a little bit clearer, isn't it? I told you, we dissect the zoo. We dissect the zoo with facts and with figures. So to engage your brain, I want you to ask any Alamajiri anywhere in the world, is it possible, those that actually managed this evening that can spell cat, for those of them who are listening, C-A-T is cat. It's called, in alphabet it's called C, but it's pronounced K. So I'm teaching them. So by Sunday they'll be able to acquire some brain to teach them this. I'm asking, if everything is well inside Aso Rock, why would there be a debate as to who transferred power to who when there is a vice president that power should go to automatically should anything happen to the president? Simple common sense. Common sense. Zoo used tissue paper. Garba Shehu reacts. Garba Shehu, he had been sacked by Aisha because this Garba Shehu was working with Abba Kyari. They were the ones that locked Aisha Buhari away from her quarters, humiliated her. Now this is her revenge. Garba Shehu is now talking from the sidelines. He's no longer prominent. He's no longer appearing on their Janjaweed News channel, Channels TV. Haven't you noticed? Femi Adesina is fighting for his job, saying, I will not talk. Don't sack me, I won't talk. Do you see what we've done to them? An idiot to come from that and say, what have you done? Every time you're talking, every time you're idiots. But God created the world with speech, word of mouth. See how stupid they are? Hey, Sabon TK, they don't reason very well. They don't reason. You preach to them and they call it all manner of names. But they go to their useless pastors every Sunday to hear rubbish. Let's pray for Nigeria. We are here to educate them, to silence the idiots. But they have collected money from the zoo. You can't silence them. They must speak. They must justify the money that they're receiving. They must transfer of power. And people are telling me that the zoo is normal. Of course it is not. Air Force pledging loyalty. Where have you seen that rubbish before? The US Air Force pledging loyalty to Trump. That is rubbish. That tells us something is wrong. There is a power tussle. That is what we are taught when we are small, as babies, when they used to tell us about folklore. Tell us stories under the moonlight. To groom you to reason critically. You know, in Biafran culture, we tell little kids stories by the moonlight about the tortoise and the chicken and all the rest of them and the fox. So to engage their thinking faculty so they can begin to reason critically. So that when something like this happens, when Air Force pledges loyalty to the president, you know something is wrong. When somebody comes out to say power was passed over to ordinary chief of staff rather than the vice president, you know something is wrong. It's called common sense. Their ability to reason. I must preach. We have gone over 2 hours, but the Elohim said I should preach now, so that's how I preach it. Please. Aisha is now calling cabinet meeting. Boss Mustafa is now the vice president. Are you people listening at all? Are you following what is happening in the zoo? Aisha is calling a cabinet meeting. Can you believe that? That somebody actually went out and wrote and said, President Buhari, please call your beautiful wife to order. She's trespassing. In a democracy of 200 million people, supposedly. Or should I say, allegedly. Allegedly. And all of them are quiet. It's the 20, who is going to contest now in Igbo land? What they're going to do to they think they can distract us with their useless presidency. They think they can get us to abandon what we are doing by talking rubbish, election, PVC, all that crap. Again. It has never been the duty of a First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to call a meeting of political stakeholders, which includes the Vice President and the Army Chief of Staff, into a meeting to discuss national issues. Is it clear now? That I told you here, the first in the world. I told you before anything happened that Aisha had taken over. I told you this thing about 3 weeks ago. I told you she's in charge. I told you live on air. Are you now believing me? There is no word that comes out of my mouth that is not divinely ordained by heaven to be preached. That is why everything I say is correct. You may not believe it. I told you that Aisha was in charge. Some of you poured scorn. You said that, and I'm asking those people, please clarify. Please tell me, if Aisha is not in charge, why would Aisha call a cabinet meeting in a presidential system of government? Why? How? Do you see why our enemies are afraid of us? Because we are learned. We are intelligent. Very, very intelligent, I tell you. Too intelligent, I'm telling you the truth. Do you see how we're unraveling the zoo? From what comes out of their mouth, we destroy them. Not did I make anything up? So, what he's saying all the time, every time, he's obsessed with Buhari and he's obsessed with I'm telling you the truth. And he's here. And somebody is writing, President Buhari should please call his beautiful wife to order for trespassing. And I'm asking, the same man that said that Aisha should not answer a first lady, the same man that said the office of the first lady doesn't exist, the same man that said Aisha belongs to Zarum. How is that possible? That now Aisha is calling a cabinet meeting when that man is alive, a former military dictator? Are you telling me that some of you have taken leave of your senses? You no longer reason? Now tell me that the zoo hasn't fallen. I want somebody to tell me where an unelected woman brought in her lover. Brought in her lover in broad daylight, in broad daylight into Asorok, a woman in Islam. This is evil in Islam, immoral. All the Muslims in the zoo, have you seen the extent of your immorality? It stinks. It stinks. Aisha is calling a cabinet meeting. And all of you are Democrats, you are intellectuals, with professors. Meanwhile, they are coming to the South to kill you. All of you are under a spell, a Janjaweed spell. I don't know if it is in the suya they give you to eat, maybe in the watermelon they were bringing you, maybe in the tomatoes or in the onions from the bed. I don't know where it comes from. You people are under a spell. Your stupidity has no equal. I have never seen 200 million people so idiotic anywhere, and there can never be anywhere else in the history of mankind. That you have 200 million people packed together in a space full of so much stupidity that it can go around the whole world 1,000,000 times over. I have never seen cowards calling other people cowards. These are idiots. A woman is in charge. She was not elected. Had she been elected, fine. For me personally, I would even prefer a woman president to start with anyway, because they don't steal money. They don't steal. Women don't steal. If you make them try, that's why IPOB is thriving with the little things that we have, because the woman is in charge of our finance. The same thing will happen in the USA. We are going to hand over our finance in the USA to women, not men. Not men. Because men are not transparent sometimes. They are not. Something happening in the USA. We are going to close all that loophole. I don't want to be involved in anything that will bring shame or dishonor to IPOB. Never, ever, ever. That is why we need transparency. There is no transparency in the zoo. None! What channels is busy about? Channels cannot do a documentary. Who is in charge? BBC cannot do a documentary. Who is it? Because they have all been bribed. They have collected their own share of the money. And they give you, some of you, 3,000 every week stipend to fight IPOB. Ward has his own. Obiano has his own group. Every governor have their own group of Irats who will fight for them and defend them. And the Irats, they have no job, no prospect, no hope of a job. Maybe they promised them special advisor or special assistant in the year 2053. That's how foolish Nigerians are. A very useless set of people, I assure you. Useless. Useless. It is not the duty of a woman, a first lady, to assume the responsibility of convening a cabinet meeting. Aisha is flexing her muscle everywhere. She's the one now in charge. Time to make Nigeria great again. Aisha is now telling officials, this from Icons News, they are reporting it's time to make Nigeria great again. Like maybe a mini version of Donald Trump in a woman. Time to look at, was Nigeria ever great? When was Nigeria great, I'm asking? When? When was it great? There was never a time that Nigeria was great. For your information, let's make Nigeria great again. A woman that belongs to his house room. A woman. Unelected. I'm sure they are panicking right now. Hey, Zoo is shaking. I'm taking you through a sequence, line by line, what has been happening in the zoo to buttress the fact that there is no president, there is no vice president. Aso Rock is empty. It is absolutely empty. There is nobody there. It's empty. Empty. They said the other day, presidency is now probing Abba Kyari. After the program I did, they now changed and said the presidency denies Buhari is probing late Kyari's office and appointments. After the program I did on Sunday, they have now reversed and denied it. That's how the zoo works. Because their media is their cash and carry to support every evil. Once even if Lucifer were to pay them, they will tell you that the road that leads to hell is paved with gold. I'm telling you. Nigerian journalists. If you come here, that Lucifer is drinking champagne, or they are drinking champagne. In fact, anything is free Wi-Fi. If you go there, it's free data. Anything you want in hell, you will get. The Nigerian media will do that for you very quietly and neatly. Once you pay them. Nigeria. Great man that was not. It was never great. At no time was it great. It's been a banana republic from day one, running a rentier economy. They sell crude oil and they import everything, including toothpick. They import everything, including toothpick, into the zoo. Panic as Buhari probes Abba Kyari's office. It was carried by a slightly respectable Guardian newspaper. And yet, the next minute they deny it. Because they know the heat is on. Everybody who ever works with Abba Kyari, for humiliating Aisha Buhari, they are under threat of being sacked from their position. Under threat from being sacked. Every appointment made by Abba Kyari, every appointment made by the late chief of staff, this is according to Guardian again, or not IPOB publication, not Icons News, not anybody independent. No, this is not anybody who you can blame of being sympathetic to IPOB. No. Buhari cancels appointments and approvals made by late chief of staff Abba Kyari. Cancels them. Who cancelled them? Aisha Buhari. Why? Because she was not in good terms with Abba Kyari. Is it not clear to all of you that you have no president and you have no vice? And in all this nonsense, how about the appointments made by Yemi Osinbajo? And now, if you're cancelling every appointment made by Abba Kyari, how about Hope Uzodinma that he appointed? Why are you leaving him? If you're going to probe all the appointments and reverse them, why don't you reverse Hope Uzodinma in Imo State, who was appointed as a result of Abba Kyari arm twisting the judiciary to appoint him from number 4 to number 1, only in the zoo. And Ohaneze went to pay homage to him. Once there is a bit of cash, Ohaneze and Diatro, they're like a llama following grass. Anyway, there is hope of raising money. They go there and there is some cash. These are elite, elders, intellectuals. They are party. Every monkey is an intellectual. Every fool. Once you can cram 1 or 2 lines in a constitution, you recite it long enough, you are an intellectual. You speak English, is an intellectual. Fools. Whoever told you that stitching sentences together, makes you an intellectual? Who told you that? From where? Who told you that being able to stitch 2 sentences together, string them along beautifully, makes you an intellectual? Who told you that? That's how backward education is in the zoo. Every monkey is an intellectual. Buhari cancels appointments. You should also cancel Hope Uzodinma. He was appointed by Abakari to serve the Janjaweed interest. He thought he was going to live forever. The whole battle is raging. That even Dabiri, Erewa, they are now fighting over office space. They have kicked out Dabiri Erewa. They have kicked her out of her office. Under a new regime. Because there is no Buhari, there is no Sibajo. None! Nobody is there. After Rock is empty. If you are in doubt, go and ask your daddy GO. Your daddy GO will confirm it. Because Aisha is on a revenge mission. On a revenge mission. Those that denied her. Initially, Aisha wanted to bring back the body of her husband and bury him in Daura. It was Abakari that prevailed on how not to do it, to allow them to continue to rule till 2023. They thought nobody would know. They never counted on the fact that we will expose it. Now, you see how many years it took us to put them on the back foot? How many years? I announced it in 2017, 2018, to 2020. How many years? 17, 18, 19, 3 years. 3 years. If we had given up, by now they would have gotten away with this horrible, horrible crime of the century. Well, they can't go free. Aisha Buhari knows. She can't. They all know this now. Even the diplomats in Abuja covering them, they know they can't escape it. They can never escape this. Nobody can. It's like pregnancy. It will give birth. Very soon, let COVID-19 finish. Let me see where he will go. Anywhere in the world. To attend. Oh my God. What will do to them? Let them come and attend now. Let's see. What we did to... People are saying, do you see what we did to Jubril in Japan? You know what we did to Jubril in Japan? We chased him away. He couldn't attend any of the conference, any of the meetings. Worse is going to come. Let COVID-19 finish. Let me see where he will attend the meeting. And then we'll give them the embarrassment of their life. Now, that thing they had in the world, we'll see it by force. If they had any brain, if Aisha had any brain, what you should have done is to call a few people to say, please, I give you sovereign national conference. Anything you decide is what we're going to do. That is the simplest way of diffusing everything. But they are power drunk. They're enjoying money. Their kids are driving Rolls Royce on the streets of Abuja. They're having fun. Whereas those that say they are Niger Delta, they are drinking the same water that they are going to toilet in, they're urinating in. And I want Nigeria. Are you following me? Are you hearing me? I said their children are in Abuja driving flashy cars worth billions of naira. Billions, I said. And you are in Niger Delta doing our oil, doing one Nigeria. The same creek that you go to toilet in, that you urinate in, you go there, you fetch water to cook, you fetch water to drink. And you're one Nigeria. And Igbo man is your problem. Do you see how daft you? Do you see how roundly stupid you are? How roundly foolish you are? Daft people everywhere. Daft everywhere. Igbo man is your problem. It's our oil. Have you seen it? Have you seen the cars they're driving? I think Ekpa was showing it. Have you seen the cars that are the flashy, beautiful cars? The beautiful, wonderful cars they are driving in the north. How about you? You ate poisoned fish in Bonny? Our people are dying. They are dying in Bonny. They are dying. They ate poisoned fish from the water. The same water they polluted, they contaminated with the help of their friends, telling you about one Nigeria, you are now dying in large numbers. Whereas those that told you an Igbo man is your own flesh and blood is your problem, they are driving flashy cars in the north, flying to Bayelsa with private jets. El-Rufai and the son tweeting. I don't know. I say in my next life and life, I don't think that God has assembled such number of stupid people before in the history of creation as you have in Nigeria. I am not sure that anywhere in recorded history that you have such large number of idiots in one place. Never before. Nigeria is just the only one I can think of. My goodness. She doesn't have the power to give us referendum. How can she give us referendum? They want to be drinking oil. You've not heard them before talk about their oil. I'll play a clip for you later on. You'll hear what they say about the oil. There's some idiots who they prefer to be pipeline security guard, the people from Jigawa, than to work with their own flesh and blood to be free. That's why that they are agents of the zoo. But some of you are unreasonable because they call us, we are fighting for our freedom or free. You think they are real? They are not real. They can never be. They are not real. These are agents of the zoo. They are working for the janjaweed. They are agents of the zoo. You don't know that? They are playing with your brain. They know you know nothing. You see them, they'll be talking. You think that they are not normal. They are agents of the zoo. Once after doing this program now, they'll go and take permission and say, allow me to respond now. Please, allow me to respond to him. Allow me to respond to him. That's what they will say. Allow me to respond to him. Oh, news is coming in everywhere. Hey, there's even one. Brad sent it to me December 5th, 2018. Hey, Buhari's double. A postscript. Buhari's double. They know, Yoruba media, they know that Asorok is empty. Yoruba media, they know, after Obasanjo knows, Atiku knows that Buhari is dead. That is how evil they are. That is how satanic they are. All they are into is oil. Hey, if we allow them, if we expose this secret to Nigeria, will break up and our oil will go. All those, they are emergency millionaires. They'll become paupers overnight. Overnight. I think it is ridiculous for somebody to say that Buhari is dead. Can you believe such nonsense? Somebody is in the zoo. I think it is ridiculous. Can you believe how idiotic some people can be? And I keep asking them, you all have forgotten the hole in the neck. Do you think I'll forget? No, of course not. I will tweet it tomorrow again. You think I'll forget? No. How about the hole? So the hole has disappeared? The hole in the neck is not there anymore? And you claim you're intelligent, you went to school. Dear me. Zoo is panicking. Zoo is gone. They are gone. They are gone. Chief of Staff, this is Sun newspaper. Screaming headline. Chief of Staff, Secretary to the government on warpath. Labour vows shut down if he returns. Have you not read it? How can you have a president or a vice and ordinary chief of staff appointed newly and the secretary to the government who is doing the job of Osibajo are on a warpath? Are you people that dumb? Are you that foolish? Are your brains blocked? Or is it the way I'm saying it? Am I not communicating very well? Are you not understanding my English? Is my English not ordinary enough for you to understand? I'm asking you again, if the president is there, why would a newly appointed chief of staff be fighting or be on a warpath with the secretary to the government? The oil people. Oil is our oil. You want our oil? Those are the agents of the zoo. Anybody who comes to you and says Niger Delta this, Niger Delta that is an agent of the zoo. Is an agent of the zoo and cannot accomplish anything. They know it's impossible. They know that Biafra is possible. Niger Delta rubbish is impossible. Impossible. I heard one idiot telling me that, as I said earlier, Bini, people from is the old Bini kingdom all the way to Obari in Anambra is Bini kingdom. Because of the likes of Ohaneze, what the atrocious damage Nnamdi Azikiwe did by not uniting the family. By not uniting the family. I am doing what Azikiwe should have done. Look for your people. What you show to somebody, I can only introduce your brother or your blood relative to you, not your friend. You make your friends yourself. The only person I can bring to you is your brother. I am looking for my brothers and my sisters everywhere. Is there any oil in Benue? I'm asking you. But I know that Idoma are the same people as I am. So is he getting? Is there any oil there? They don't reason. They don't reason very well. They don't reason. They don't reason. Oh dear man. Chief of Staff is fighting. Why would Chief of Staff be fighting and Labour is threatening strike if you have a president? Mad people everywhere. Hey, we are preaching this very gospel. It doesn't matter what Facebook does, we continue to preach. If you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, that's also up to you. We don't care. Have you seen the picture of Al-Majiri? When I said to all of you that they're all Al-Majiri in the north, you didn't believe me. You know why I love Elohim? Every time when I utter anything, it won't be up to a week. Elohim will show me proof. There is a picture being floated. I think it's from Politics Arena. You see Ganduje as a street boy as Al-Majiri in Kanu. Al-Majiri, there he's the governor, stealing to his heart's content in a country of intellectuals. In a country of intellectuals. They are all Al-Majiri, as Tanko Yakasai said. They are all Al-Majiri. In their combined tenure of 16 years, I tweeted it earlier before I came on air, and I will command and ask you to go on the tweet after this very program. Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, and Jonathan, they borrowed only a total of 12 trillion naira, only in 16 years. But I can assure you or tell you this evening that in only 5 years, Fulani cabal, running the zoo on behalf of a dead Buhari, they have borrowed 18 trillion naira and still counting. When do you think, or where do you think all the money is going to? It's Fulani headsmen, that is, which is Mietiala, terrorists. They are funding their terrorists. They are expanding their territory. They are bringing the people from all over West Africa to come into the zoo, to come into Biafra land. So you don't know. That's where the money is going to. Do you hear them talk about it? Hey, if it's an Igbo man now, he come on. Can you tell us where all that money, where is the money? Can you come and account to us on Facebook? Where the hey, anyway, every ethnicity have their own fair share of mad people. They have their own fair share of mad people. Can I show you? Fulani nationality, go and Google it please. Fulani nationality movement, Fulani. They have claimed ownership. They have claimed ownership of the whole of Nigeria, from Sokoto to the Atlantic. Oh yeah, people, are you listening? All the pipeline security guards, are you listening? They have claimed the whole of the zoo. Google it. Fulani nationality movement, Funam, in bracket, claims ownership of Nigeria from Sokoto to the Atlantic. Go and Google it, it's there. And you still believe in one Nigeria. Live on, God bless Nigeria. So when a Yoruba pastor is telling you to pray for one Nigeria, you can see that he's working for Fulani people. Can't you see it here? And they tell me they don't know about this news. Of course they know. But they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They played this very video before about them having fun on the streets of Abuja. Let me see. I want oil people to enjoy the sound of the cars, at least. You know, as you're going now to the stream to fetch water from the same place where you go to toilet and urinate, I want you to listen to the sound of cars of Fulani Janjaweed Al-Majiri, the type of cars they are driving, having fun in Abuja as you're eating a dead rotten fish that will kill you. Yet man is your problem, Abi. Let's hear them. Hear them.
G700.
G700.
Ferrari.
Lamborghini. Hey. Look at them in Abuja. Their father is rich on oil from Biafra land. Are you hearing the sound of the engine? Are you hearing it? Look at the cars. They are racing.
Over the street.
Hey. Look at them. Lamborghini. Look at them where they park the cars. Every range of car that you think of. This is as you are struggling, this is as you are struggling to find water to drink in the creeks. As you're struggling to feed. As our children are going to school, they are falling into the creeks and they are drowning. They have no food to eat. There are no houses to sleep in. As our mothers are suffering in the so-called Niger Delta. The only way out is Biafra. Yet you know that the only way out is Biafra. But you come and you're talking all this nonsense about South, all this garbage. Knowing fully well that Alamajiri children are having fun in Abuja, driving Maserati that they didn't work for. Now you see the full meaning of divide and rule. Now who is stupid? All of you that didn't support Biafra, do you see how stupid you are? Is it now very clear to you? The cars are in the north. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., our mothers will rise up to go and look for fish to catch, to smoke, to sell. Those who didn't go to school are in Abuja, driving fast cars. And you tell me you believe in one Nigeria. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. And who gave them the authority? The people that gave them the audacity to be doing this are those of you telling me you are not interested in Biafra. And those of you telling me about South. Those of you telling me that Igwe people come from Benin. All you idiots. You are the ones causing this problem. Let me drive. I want to ram it home. I want to drive it home. I want to drive your stupidity home. I want you to understand how foolish you are. I'm going to play this clip for you. So you listen. So you hear it. So tomorrow morning, as you're opening your stupid blabber mouth to be talking rubbish, Niger Delta, let shame catch you. That's why I'm going to play this for you. I'll play it. Listen.
Miles or nautical miles or more into the ocean is because of that 72% of the land mass of this country, which is the North.
The North owns everything.
So what they claim is the offshore oil is actually the oil of the North.
And you listen, what they claim is actually offshore oil is the oil of the North. And they are clapping. These are the people you're doing one Nigeria with. They are clapping at your stupidity, clapping at your idiocy, clapping at your Niger Delta garbage, clapping at your moronic South, clapping at your stupid. Oh, our people are stupid. So stupid. So stupid. So stupid. Are you listening? You have Pantef. You have. Are you working with the politicians? Who is the top politician? You are telling me to work with those appointed by Alamajiri? You think I'm stupid? You think if you say it, I will run to my death? Who are these people are appointed by the North? Is that what you think? Do you see how they're saying the North? They never said Northeast. They never said North. It's only Nigeria doesn't have any North. It's only when they come together. Can you hear the man? All of you saying South, are you listening? All of you saying Nigeria, are you listening to this man? He is saying the North. He knows there is strength in unity and in numbers. Do you understand it? Do you understand it? Some will remain in the zoo because they were fathered by Fulani. Alamajiri blood is in them. I've told you this before. No genuine Biafran will say they don't want Biafra. Nobody on this earth. Because we are born with freedom inside us. That's who we are. They go all over the world. They hire people. They go to Israel. They go to Facebook. They pay them who will try to frustrate Biafra. They go and open fake accounts and they're yapping rubbish. And we spend time responding to idiots instead of blocking them. These are fake. Go and open them. They are all fake. Fake. because they think that the mind of a Biafran is very, they can subtly to manipulate you into hating yourself, and they've succeeded. Listen, the oil belongs to the north, not Jigawa this time, the whole north, and they are clapping. These are the politicians you go to meetings with. They are clapping. It was covered by Channels TV. They are clapping in Channels TV, laughing at all of us. You Biafrans, you Easterners, they are laughing at you. You are stupid. Your oil is our own. We have divided you. Let me show you. Listen.
Anybody should own it. It's the north.
It's the north. That was the oil.
So we should stop using these terms that have no sense at all. There are no oil producing states.
Are you listening?
It is only the Nigerian state that produces oil. Nautical miles.
Are you listening? Did you hear that? All the oil belongs to the north. They have said it openly. It is not hate speech. Nobody is complaining. You don't have the Alamajri complaining. If it's me that says such a thing now, hey, they will call of them. Are you there? Where's our boy? Where? Are you there? Say something. Nnamdi Kanu say something. Come on, respond to him now immediately. Either to come and make one stupid video looking like Ewi Kapi talking rubbish on video. Is it now clear to all of you that you are all slaves of the north? By the north, they mean Fulani. They are very clever. They know they cannot keep saying Fulani. They need to carry along the docile, conquered north. All of them. They are united under one thing: hatred for Biafra. Hatred for everybody. If your mother is tying two-piece wrapper, they hate you. It doesn't matter if you're Asian. It doesn't matter if you're from Ogoja. It doesn't matter if you're from Igede. It doesn't matter if you're from Ububra. It doesn't matter where you come from. Once your mother ties two-piece wrapper, you are Nnamdi to them and they will hate you. Simple common sense. Some of us lack. Very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. We are moving on. Heaven gave me a message to preach, and that is exactly what I am preaching this very evening. Somebody said to Edwin Clark, continue to work for cohesion and progress of Nigeria, according to Buhari. That's Aisha. Yeah, Aisha's boyfriend. According to Aisha's boyfriend, continue to work for cohesion and progress of Nigeria. Listen to what they say. I told you the man is a traitor. I told you Edwin Clark is a traitor. That's why they asked him to continue to work for one Nigeria. The same people that said they own the oil, the same people he's serving as a slave, even at his age. Is it not clear to all of you? Anything I tell you is gospel. I can't lie. He's an elderly man. Why would I lie against him? Why should I lie against him? Against him, rather. I won't do that. I can't lie against him. They are now asking, once you die, and Asorok congratulates you, you know you're a traitor. The same thing with Igwe Fubunike. Once you die and you get a condolence from Asorok by this Aisha's boyfriend, Asani Buhari, you know you're a traitor. Fulani cannot congratulate you if they know you're a threat to them. Can they congratulate you? They can't. You don't know that? Keep on being a saboteur. If anybody doesn't want to join Biafra and be free, because I'm preaching the truth, you can go to hell and continue to drink that water that you go to toilet in and fetch and drink. Continue. Continue. Because you're afraid of the truth. Because you're afraid of the truth. Unbelievable. El-Rufai's son targets Igbos and IPOB in a tweet. He was in a private jet, Alamajiri, in a private jet, bought with oil money from Biafra land, tweeting against IPOB. And targeting Igbos is in the news. Go and Google it. El-Rufai's son targets Igbos, IPOB in reactive tweets. That tells you it's only IPOB they're afraid of. Who are you making mouth or blabbing your dirty mouth when the only people that are afraid of is IPOB? Have you asked yourselves why? Drop your petty jealousy, your village envy. The only formidable force they know is IPOB, not you. Not you. The only people is IPOB. We are exceptionally formidable. Exceptional. Let me see if I can read what the little Al-Majri is saying. Look at the father is the midget. They went to go and see their fellow sellout. Governor Nasser El-Rufai's son, Bello El-Rufai, has shared a cryptic post on social media that seems to disparage people from the southeast and south-south. Oh! So they didn't even leave out the slaves from the south-south. He included them. The governor's son shared some tweets. Bello took a swipe at the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, a secessionist group that agitates for the freedom of Biafrans from Nigeria through referendum. IPOB, which has supporters, now they are talking. Now let me read you what this international media is writing. IPOB, which has supporters from the Igbo, Anan, Ebanke, Egala, Idoma, and other ethnic groups, believes people from the southern region are being marginalized by the northern. There is no elite in the north. What you have is Alamaji with stolen money. There's not like elite in the north. There is nothing like elite in the north. What you have is Alamaji with looted funds. If that is what you call an elite, then so be it. It's only IPOB that they're not afraid of you. Those of you carrying office flag file in those days with one newspaper cuttings of what Zeke said, they are not afraid of you. They're only afraid of IPOB. IPOB are the only people confronting them. No other people has the balls nor the guts to do so. It is only IPOB, formidable and exceptional, incorruptible. Incorruptible. Is no longer PDP paid him, APC paid him. Have you forgotten when I was saying it? Now I'm hammering APC now. Jubril, and not Jubril is dead, of course. Aisha and her boyfriend, they're no longer talking. But some of you listened to the gossip when it came. Oh, you must have taken money from PDP. Some of you idiotically took money to bought the garbage the gossipers were saying, didn't you? They never confronted me. I was going behind my back to yap rubbish. And I'll come on air and I'll say it. I'll disgrace all of you. Every idiot. Let us listen to those who have something more important to say. We are live and direct. They said they are going to, you know what they have done? Because we are making progress across Biafra land. They have decided to fix election on the 30th of May. It doesn't matter. It's our fault. There is no relay station across Cross River. We are working very hard. Very soon, our radio, you know, our Radio Biafra cures every illness. That's why I love Radio Biafra. Once we are there, we broadcast for only 1 month. The ethics who are there, who are descended from Ibibios, they will then know their history. The way those in Bayelsa now know their history. Know who their brothers are, know who their cousins are, know who their sisters are. That they don't come from the Sahel, from the desert in the north. They have fixed election on the 30th of May to try to stop us. That's what they're doing. You see, Alamaji, election 30th of May. They have forgotten that it was Gowon that created Cross River State. And he called it Southeastern Nigeria. How many names are you going to answer? They called it Southeastern Nigeria, Cross River State. Now they have moved that Southeast into the... Zoo. There are some people writing garbage. Nonsense about Igbo land being landlocked. I want to educate some people, including the oil people of Nigeria, oil. Those who are talking rubbish. I want to play something for you to listen. Please.
Good morning, Mazi. It's me, David Njoko.
Listen very, very carefully, please.
I want you to pass a message to our leader to continue.
Listen.
Especially on his teaching.
And the prayer man.
As regards Ubopon corrupt people, Andoni and Bone, LG of River State. This local government, especially Andoni Opopo and Bone, speaks Igbo dialect up to date.
This is an Igbo man, of course. He's an Ikwere man. Ikwere man is now giving us history. Ikwere, he's an Igbo man, of course. He's now giving us history. To let every fool know that Igbo land is not landlocked. To let you know. I didn't want to say it is coming from the mouth of an Ikwere man. Listen very carefully.
While Andoni speak a combination of Igbo and Ibibio dialect, which they call Obolo.
Are you being educated? Obolo is a mixture of Igbo and Ibibio dialect. A mixture. A mixture. Are you not following? That your dialect doesn't mean you're a different person. In Ibek, we speak a different dialect from my cousins in Ahoho that speaks a different dialect from those in Olokoro. Olokoro is different from Obaka. Obaka is different from Usurimo. Usurimo is different, even more related to Ivrimbise and Ongwa. It doesn't mean we are different nationalities. What is wrong with some people? Which school did you people go to? All you people bringing all these useless categorizations about our dialect and our language. Once your dialect changes, somehow you're a different person. In the Arab world, the Arabic spoken in Kuwait is not something in Saudi Arabia. It's not the same. Written is the same, but it's not the same. In the UK, the English, the dialect, the accent of somebody from London, Cockney is different from somebody from Anglia, from East Anglia, from Ipswich, and from Colchester. But they're all English. If a Scouser speaks from Liverpool, you cannot hear them. You can't understand their English. When they make movies, there is a subtitle in America so the Americans can understand what they're saying. But they are English, they are Englanders. Are you following? Slight variation in your accent, slight variation in your dialect doesn't mean you're different. So because the dialect of the people in Opobo is slightly different, that is why they are not Igbo. Let me educate, not me. This is an Ikwere man educating you. Please listen very carefully.
What surprised me is times, even up to this stage, that the Jaw will say this area are their land. But if their land...
It's not a Jaw. He's telling you. Ikwere man is telling you now. Ikwere man is now telling us, teaching us geography. It's not a Jaw land. Listen carefully, please. Because we know what the Fulanis did after the war to divide us. We know what they did. And as I've said before, I know what Melford Okido told me personally. The MPN governor of Rivers State. I met him in London, in his house, in 1998, 1999, if I'm not mistaken. I know what he told me. That day, as we were going, he gave us transport money, I'll never forget. The former governor of Rivers State, Melford Okido, the former governor, who was actually, as a matter of fact, even an Igbo man, Okido. Who doesn't know is an Igbo man? Let's continue. Let's continue.
Why do they speak Igbo within this axis? So he should capitalize and continue to preach that this area, which is Opopo, Nkoro, Andoni, and Bone, are Igbo-speaking territories and should be known as that. So that should there be any sabotage from a jaw axis, this area mentioned gives us direct access to the sea because they are Igbo territory and should not be in doubt because up to date they still speak Igbo. As I talk with you, the person from Opopo speaks Igbo, the person from Boni speaks Igbo, and that of Andoni is a combination of both Igbo and the Ibibio dialect. So I don't think that this area should be called Ijo territory at all.
I don't care because we are all one people. We are all one. I'm not trying to cut in this, but we are all one people. Ijo, Igbo, one. One people. One people. People should stop allowing themselves to be used by the Fulani against your own people. Against your own people. Don't be allowing yourselves to be used. Given what has been said this evening, that even Opobo, I have always known that. Andoni, all the Igbo people. Now, I want to know who is Pandef representing. I'm advising Pandef to either dissolve or change their name. Pandef, headed by Edwin Clark, must either dissolve or change. As long as Pandef exists, I will keep on attacking them. They should dissolve and no longer exist. They have no use. And also, Edwin Clark must also apologize publicly to Ijaw people and to Biafrans at large for his betrayal during the war. He was a traitor. He was an arch traitor during the war. And if people condone traitors, I don't. If you want to come with us into Biafra, our hands must be clean. I don't condone treachery. I don't condone it. He was a traitor during the war, and he must apologize for his treachery. After all, a lot of people died because of the information he gave to govern. And this is the man that Nwodo was praising. You can imagine. Anyway, we love division, don't we? We love division. But they can no longer divide us because we are one people. We are one people. They can no longer divide us. Pandev must dissolve or change its name. Opobo is Igbo land. Bonny is Igbo land. So all of you idiots and flavors writing from Lagos with your Yoruba friends, you go to Eko, you drink, you write rubbish. Igbo land is landlocked. And you claim you're an intellectual. You say you are an intellectual. You claim you went to school. So you went to school, you've not been to Bonny before. You've not been to Opobo before to know what they speak. Yet you claim you are an intellectual. From Lagos, with your Yoruba friends, media criminals, writing rubbish. Igbo land is landlocked. Who told you? That is the garbage that Janjaweed have been pouring into your brain for ages. And now you believe it. And now every idiot believes it and is mouthing the same rubbish every day. No, we are not landlocked. That I can assure you. Special announcement this evening regarding how we are going to fight the Fulani and drive them away from our land and the contributions that we're going to make individually and collectively. I am making it very clear that we must all be on Twitter, on Facebook and Instagram. And we must be active. I know that some of you cannot post your selfies on Twitter because Twitter is more intellectually based. Very, very important. We all go on Twitter. Everybody must open. I am making it compulsory. Every coordinator everywhere in the world, you must get our people to be on Twitter. You will teach them how it's done. I want every family meeting, every unit, and this every zone, every unit in the world to have somebody who is a social media person, a social media manager, to make sure that we are all on social media. Do you know why? Because no single media house will do a documentary about us. They will always lie against us. Fulani terror headsmen are in our land. BBC will not cover it. We are the ones going to tell the world. When President Trump receives 10,000 tweets, he will be forced to think very long and hard about that very issue. We must all go on Twitter. I am asking all our coordinators all over the world, Mazi, our head of DOS, the Directorate of State, I am making it mandatory that every unit around the world will have a social media manager that will place all of us on Facebook, place us on Twitter, place us also on Instagram. Very, very important and very critical. We are telling our own story. Nobody is telling it for us. That is why we are on all these platforms. You cannot be in your house molding block and building hotels and motels and you think Biafra will come that way. We need to flood the world with our information, and that's exactly what we are doing. That is why we are on social media. That is why they want to get us out. Oh, it's an online country. They want to ridicule you. That's their game. That's the game. I know them very well. They want to make you feel ashamed so you no longer come online. They will therefore dominate you and spread every manner of falsehood against IPOB and Biafra, and we cannot let them. Very simple. They think we are not smart. We are very smart and we know. We are remaining on Facebook. We are going on Twitter. We are going on Instagram. Every social media platform, we are the ones telling our story. Pandev, what is Pandev? It has no meaning. If they feel it has a meaning, give me an indigenous name that binds all of you together if it's not Biafra. No, it's called Morocco. Give me an indigenous name. You claim you are Pan Niger Delta Forum. Remove Niger Delta is not an Ijaw word or Ijaw nomenclature. Give me a word that binds somebody from Bini, with somebody from Ogoja. Name it, now give me one word. I know in the west is Yoruba or Ududua. I know in the north it is Hausa Fulani. Give me one word that binds the so-called South together. Name one local word that binds, if it's not Biafra. Now you understand, don't you? Now you understand how we collapse the zoo. Reason and intelligence. That's all. If Pandef is to exist, give me a local name. Give me a local name that defines who you are. Because there is none. There is no name that binds a Yoruba person that descended from Oromian in Bini, the ruling village now in Bini. There is nobody that comes from that particular lineage of the current Oba in Bini. How are you related to somebody from Ogoja? I'm asking a simple question. How? But you're all in Niger Delta Pandev. You're all in the South. How I remove the English word, the nonsense, Niger Delta. Remove it. Give me one name that binds you together, historically, or as a people. Tell me now. I'm waiting. I'm looking here and I'm checking to see if I'll get a text. Because there is none. So that's why Pandev is rubbish. It is wrong. Every day they hold them and say, I will attack them. I will shut down emergency brokers and I will attack them. Give me a local name where you come from. Give me that binds all of you together. There is a name that binds the 7 states together. It's called Ohanese Ndigbo. Give me the name that binds South together. Give me a name now. I'm waiting. Not making mouth, talking rubbish on Facebook. Give me a name that binds you together. There is none. So it's fake. Maybe Izukaman and Neji. Go and look for the meaning of it. I won't tell you. Izukaman and Neji. Go and find it. You can't find the meaning of it. Go and find it. Nothing binds you together. That is why you have a concocted name, a made-up name, Pandef, that has no meaning. Is it English? Is it a John name? Is it a Benin name? Is it Urobo? Where is it from? What's the meaning of Pandef in Ibibio? What's the meaning of Pandef in a Jagam? It has no meaning. So dissolve that rubbish and answer your name. In the north, the answer Arewa. That's what the answer. Arewa in the north. In the west, the answer Ududua. And we are Biafra. So the more you try to divide us, the more foolish you become. Have you seen it? I'm now asking you to give me a name, either in Ijaw language, any local name that is African, that binds the whole of South together. Give it to me and I will stop what I'm doing. Give it to me now, I will stop. Because there is none. Is there? There is none. Absolutely none. Let's continue. We must all go on social media. It does take note and inform our people all over the world. Very, very important. Very important. I was invited to VOA. I told you this before. When I was in the USA lobbying US senators. And I'm very glad to see that it's beginning to yield fruit. Most of the senators are now writing. I posted it on my page. They are now lobbying Trump to make sure that the killing of Christians and marriages in the north and also in Biafra and it comes to an end. Very, very important that we do this. We must all go on Twitter. Very, very important. We must all be there. It is about journalism without boundaries. We have a very credible army of e-warriors and I salute them. Our e-warriors, I salute all of you. One after you're doing a very good job. Nobody gives you money. Everything you do is on your own. You stay awake all through the night because you're fighting for your freedom. And when the time comes, you will tell your children this, that I stayed awake all night fighting. People don't know the meaning of media. That was how they told us, oh, don't mind media now. Oh, go and trade. Go and learn. Go and work as Wafia. And Yoruba took the media and finished us off. And now, the media we have found, which is new, which is social media, they want to drive us away by ridiculing what we are doing. It's an online country. You have an online president. Tell them yes, but we stay there. They are very smart. That was how they drove us away from mainstream media. Minaj was in Obosi. No Igbo man supported Minaj. No Igbo man brought out money. It died. That was when I knew about people is something else. Now they want to drive us away from social media that we dominate and control. The answer is no. So we must tell our story. That's why we are there. They think they're smart. If you say it's an online content, then we are out of shame, we abandon it. Alamajili. Yeah. Oh. We must continue on social media. We must continue because we are dominating. And I must also state very categorically, I love the freedom that Adaka Boro fought for. Because Igbo politicians then were very stupid and hopeless. I don't blame anybody for fighting for Niger Delta then, or fighting for whatever thing they were fighting for. I don't blame them. You can even see how the Igbo politicians are treating us, fighting for their freedom. And I can imagine what Adaka Boro must have gone through at the hands of these people to compel him to declare a Niger Delta Republic. And instead of calling him to ask him what is your problem, Ironsi locked him up. That was wrong. I don't support it. I don't. And I support the agitation for Niger Delta. That was then. But with what we know now, that they brought in this Niger Delta to divide us, please, we should not allow them to succeed. That doesn't mean I'm looking down on Niger Delta agitation. Everybody has the right to agitate, to be free, and that's what we are doing. But we must do it as one people, together as one. After that, it's going to be a confederation. You'll be on your own. Everybody will be on their own. The only thing that will hold us together is to stop the Fulani from coming. So we'll have a common defense policy and a common foreign policy. That's all. I don't want to be misunderstood. I don't want it to seem, because I know the criminals are now lying and saying, oh, he's against our agitation. No. I'm not against the freedom of our people. I'm not. Heaven knows I'm not and can never be. And I respect those that have fought and died under the name of Niger Delta. But I'm saying that they were misled in the name that they answered. Not the fight itself, is the banner, the flag that they raised up that I have issues with. Not the fight itself. I wish people can understand why I have made this clarification. We are in a media war, of course. The man Elag is saying, because it's a media war. It's a media war. Forget BBC. BBC won't do anything. BBC is working for the enemy. And they will always do so. And make it very clear, please. Our people are very, very terrible when it comes to public contribution. You will see some people will now go and be issuing account numbers online, claiming they're working for IPOB. We have not sent anybody or asked anybody to put anything online. There are only 6 people who can talk to you about funding and about support, not funding, even support for IPOB activities and the work that we're doing. And that is Rabbi, as I mentioned before. That is Mrs. Okafo in Philadelphia in USA. That is Madam Oyibo. Madam Oyibo, that woman that gave us money. In fact, I announced everything. Madam Oyibo in USA today gave IPOB $100,000 today. I'm saying it openly. She gave us $100,000 today. One woman. She was the woman that gave us money before. And the money, I asked for people to contribute $1. She ended up giving us $17,000 today. Despite all this, she's one of those that actually fund my office. That doesn't mean I'm rich. I don't have any money, please, for goodness sake. She's one of those that fund my office. Today, she gave us $100,000 cash and paid it into an account in the USA. One woman, not an Igbo man. One Igbo woman. You see why I call Biafra motherland? Do you see the reason why? And that is why, from today onwards, our account in the USA will be managed by only women. Every account everywhere will be run by women. Every state must open a bank account to be run by a woman. And you must grant access to our sister Nnamdi. If you don't grant access to our sister Nnamdi between now and when next I will be on air, I'll give you 1 week because of COVID-19. Every account in the world, Nnamdi must be in it. If she's not there, I won't trust an account and I'll close it down. Everybody, take note. especially USA. I'm announcing it live on air. Take note. If Nnamdi cannot see what you're doing in your account, because I'm the one that they will say they gave 4.4 trillion to. So I need to know what is happening so that I can have evidence. I can publish it because they are gossipers. And the Igbo men gossip better than any other group of people in the world. Igbo men can gossip for their life. They love gossiping. I don't want it. Please, that is why, let me repeat, our women will be in charge of every account we have everywhere in the world. Only women, no men. Men shouldn't come near, they shouldn't come close to our account. No man should come close to it. There's an order from tonight. Very, very important, please. Very, very important, please. Extremely crucial. There has to be discipline in our ranks. Anybody giving you any appealing for funds on Facebook, on social media, distributing account numbers, telling you IPOB said, it is a lie. I did not send anybody. Only Nnamdi can speak to you about funding. Only Rabbi, who is my emissary. Only Mrs. Okafor, who has contributed immensely. She wanted to sell her house in America and I said, no, God forbid. A mother. That's to tell you what our women are doing. Only Mrs. Okafor, who has contributed a lot in this a lot. I don't want to mention the amount. A lot. Just contributed in this very effort we're making. Madam Oyibo, and also our two sisters that man our inquiry lines. Only them. Anything you see online is fake. It is fake. Absolutely fake. I'm making it very, very clear, please. Nobody should give money to any IPOB officer in the USA claiming it is to fight Fulani headsmen. I'm making it very clear. I said no, no, no. If you want to support the effort to drive away the terrorists from our land, go to World Igbo Congress, look for Professor Ejiofor and give him your money. Don't give it to IPOB, please. We don't need it. We don't need it. It's too late. When we asked you before, you were talking rubbish. 2015, we don't need it anymore, please. Go somewhere else and give it to them. That brings us to the end of today's proceedings. I want to see if I can take at least maybe 1 or 2 calls. I said I will take some calls and I want to take it. Let me see if I can take 1 or 2 calls. You have the number. It has to be only on WhatsApp, please. Only on WhatsApp. Very, very important. If I get any call on WhatsApp, then I will take it. If not, and please, do not, our inquiry line is not for video calls. I know you hear the voice of our daughters and you want to, the caller, stay where you are, I'm coming to you in a minute. Stay where you are. No video calls, please. There are WhatsApp lines, no video calls, I beg of you. No video calls or inquiry lines. No video calls, please. The caller on the line, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, Mr. Mazi, Nnamdi. My name is Edwin.
I don't know why this is so low. Just please do bear with me for a second. The voice is very, very low. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening. Let me see if I can get you on the other side. Just bear with me for a second. We are live and we are direct. I am attempting to take 1 or 2 calls, please. I'm attempting to take 1 or 2 calls, if you may. The caller on the phone, I am trying to connect this. This is absolutely terrible. Let me see what we can do. I want to see what we can do. Please do bear with me. Do bear with me. I want to see what we can do. I want to see. It's not connecting for some bizarre reason. It is not connecting. It is not connecting, please. Do try and call us back. Yes, it's now. Let me see. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the phone, can you hear me? It's just ringing. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. It's just ringing for some reason. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you turn your system down, please? That is why I don't take all these calls. People don't turn their systems down. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Good evening to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Edwin Emokinyo, Honorable from Delta State. I'm calling from Ireland. I just want to thank you for your show. I've been following you for over a few months now, and
you are Urobo. Are you a Biafran or are you a Niger Deltan? Which one are you? Are you Niger Delta or you're Biafran? I want to know.
No, I'm a Biafran. That's for sure.
Okay, Biafran. Very good. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I want to thank you for what you're doing. I want to thank you for the immense work you're putting in on IPOB. I'm also a follower of IPOB in Ireland, and I just want to reach out to you and say I've been following you for a few months now, and I truly acknowledge the hard work you're putting into. I just want to pray for you. I pray that God will bring this Biafra restoration to fruition in Jesus' name. Thank you very much, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. He gave us his name, and he is from Urobo. He's one of us. He is not a Niger Deltan. Only a fool can be a Niger Deltan. He's from Urobo. That is where he comes from, and he is a Biafran. That is the name that unites us. If you're in doubt, give me a local name for Pandef. It doesn't exist. There is no local name for Pandef. The line is jammed, too many calls, and the line is frozen. Way too many calls. I will be live again on Saturday evening on the day of our remembrance, and that very day I will not preach very much. We will just pray for the soul of our dear departed, and then I will try and fix the system and take as many calls as possible. Our lines have crashed, I'm telling you the truth. The phone has crashed, way too many calls. The phone has crashed and there is nothing we can do about it. I don't know what is happening. I have no idea. Oh my goodness, the calls are too... Hey, unbelievable. We have now brought our proceedings to a close this very evening. I thank all of you for listening. And as always, without hesitation and proudly proclaimed, Biafra is our religion. Here on Radio Biafra is where we worship, because Elohim Chukwokika Biama is our God. I thank you very much for listening. From me, from here, it is good evening.